Well, good evening. You are live on OK 101.7 FM or Ship House, Abeka Junction. Production team Natinasi, Mr. Kojo Hansen or DOP Adibedi Akoso Atinasi about Captain's Ban, senior DOP, director of photography, Omun Niakuma or Mutrainino, DJ Oblak. And so Bolaya, boy. Just yeah, they brought live on Cooking to me when we got you FM and live so on National Radio, so UK and a live King's Jersey Radio, New Jersey. Yes, our live so our high live radio DC DMV in Tibebia Ubenya or Junior Elisha. Good evening, Edmond Danso, Mamunina. Good evening, someone joining here. We're also live on YouTube on Vim Lady Online or live or OK 101 FM or Facebook on OKFM platform. So if I'm a Vim Lady, and then you have one key issue, which is the NDC are starting on. NDC can take you over. There will be swearing in ceremony. So technically, to say NDC is not in charge. And Nuntina, Omampeni, incoming President Mahama. NDC supporters in be started so muye gidi almost ballot papers, polling station, collation centers. Obey a statement catcher on pennies, excellency, and not Blanco Kupado say. Oh, now we are president in charge, and you are still in charge until 7th January. Ube handi over near best swear in new president. Ain't foundation bomb. Natural shemranti and not seeing for because in take advantage. Emma omo yen my bonnie. Ain't Yanuan in the last couple of days, especially since President Mahama announced say they put in place an anti-corruption team. Now, that team, one of the things that team be any day you have to be operation recover all loot. Operation recover all loot. Now the question is whether at this time, I'm buying all ban or President Mahama buying. There's a major expectation on the government. Into which one is the priority? Is it the priority see and fix Ghana? And now the priority say operation recover all loot. But again, Obiso argument obey and say operation recover all loot, is the beginning of fixing Ghana. Because media Obia for Ghana $1 $1, I will support saying project. Because the way I Ghana for your bread, me even call a bread. What I say? It say Yama politician be the blank check. And I am a politician be and for that matter, any civil servant be to get away with murder say. Because we are politician, what buy a betna a colonial so that's what $1, $2 a year. We must collect it. But it must be done according to the rules and regulations of the law. And this will be a could not have confirm running some. So we are Mino. We are saying Ketiel. We are even another cry at the present. The law does not lie within your hands. And you won't enforce the law. No. That is why you want institutions. That is why I see about democracy. And it's empathy, I see a democracy. I see empathy, a democracy. There is no way a democracy now, I say you to me, one person. Nama Kojina Habo. Let me play you the video and I'll take you to UTV and any PMMC boss Akasa. Now what chemu the mbaya gold no could be a port. No gold no kohe. Why authorizing gold no to go out? When Ben soon the gold no go out because you see say BB here we'll get to a point where Ghana better than a jungle where Obia your to fear crowd will be so mama swa. Oh, Vim Lady cry, me baby, I made you know me one. I mind by any position. DC me come got a contract me come. Me ana me me bottom security school and I villages. A school desk. Uko a salaga school for uncle from so yo yiri. Yeah, school desk. Amankola. E salaga bole bamboy ni na ye ko achima Aminam, when you are 6 unit classroom block, me Vim Lady ya. And me ya chuobi and chuobi business, mean you be any, and ya mean you be anyone, any brady or coffee $1. I mean about channel. But I'm saying, sir, there must the entire democracy, they say institutions must work. Institutions must work. So be sorry, baby, I bet me a airport. Obi abet me akodina habo. Obi abet me akoma kolegium. Obi abet me akwa akramo. Yes, you we will go back higher but then we are going back to military regime, no. when the coffee near my say the coffee a high a canny and buy you. Near my say coffee a high a canny and buy it. Near my say, and the coffee BMN some more you a good year to see you good, you know. What I say, until let's go according to the law. Say, law, listen, what for mine 1 city, what for gold bar. Yancho, there are people who are mandated by the law, so military for a year first, the police for the auto. I want to see any of the panel court. You will fast track high court or one more money say case back court. On bail intent them money at the court. And 10 money prefer charges against you. You will video one of my honey at so. Upon I do some simple come 10 years old, 20 we quite a can go. May my uncle for a sick man. So God know where we are, Cofa. What I say? God no offer for your brain. Diamond no offer for your brain. Or mine bungalow can't offer because see this thing now NDC cop out of power 2016. We saw something similar. And you see Kofa Koreaka, and you see auction Kofa Koreaka. They see ne. How many of those we make Kaipana Wadum? Make Kaipa. Many a Abronia Koye interview. MPP for being deep attempts, and then I make question Abronia saw DJ cash. He has to collect the cash. I maintain it in 2016. I haven't changed my position. In 2016, me catch Abronia live on air. Video no hor Adomoko Adoma Obegabe. Ombebo say Abronia doesn't have the authority or the mandate, the right to storm a Kofi Adam Sifie say Yakwajeka. What storming a year first, John Dumelo Fee Yakwajeka. You have no right, no business. We are not in a jungle. So of course, say Dumelo Alfaka, Kofi Adam Safaka. For report to my police, no police phone. We are repeating the same thing in 2024. Yeah, before you didn't go, America flat to Abba. We are going through transition. You will never hear me to American. Say America, you call it or match it Trump and call for or match it one call for yes, you crash them a being see America. I don't know the end to me, I don't know the end to me apply law. No, Bibia was see any buga. Bibia was see any giddy. I'm saying, say, to be a real or minus some poateku, 1 CD, 2 CD, young quadjate by almost plus interest. My funny panogram cotum because you cotum are useless. Yet Nippon cotuma, yes, I'm going to the taxpayers money now. After coins, no, yes, stand the aqua cigar, and your cotton garia manipane you prison. Young GSC cannot plus interest. Go the young J plus interest. Young Pinina, what I say. But the way I ever will just throw caution to the wind. Obianya do pe, Obianco Chichin Crawford, Obianco fam and then people storm because if you listen to PMMC, a precious mineral marketing company bossy, Asama or Unchemo the Abana, what to me say, and yet Obia gold that you're exporting, they are exporting that and Ghana, biggest foreign exchange and a gold. And Tinipani could a certificate to one well right so exporting now be the area. Say by any so be and there's evidence. The entire media, I'm a student of the law. To be PR, me push say any evidence or any evidence. Evidence or evidence. Because you see, seriously, Opunia send me a day Opuni court 8 years in it. You to me and convict Opunio because to say evidence papa no never convict Opunino. Never shadani ho. And you abide the technicalities, you come merry go round the attorney general. 8 years since NDC free akonya so 8 years in it. You to me and prosecute Opuni properly. And MPP for a free power. And see, I'm not getting Kojina baby inquire so we are say, Mama, 2 example, Abronye time. Or more Koji Jomuka singing, Bessine. Oh, see, I can't MPP for one to where we are casting the other cozy baby. And the issue is not about one Africa. See, I auction the man for what? It is idea at the home. Yencha auction said the mamma to be as gasmono. Yencha no beyond a auction mobia. But where, yeah, idea to her. Now, idea no Oshimo technically is not even a crime. It's not a crime technically. But to be a non for who did it, he said, you're not brought your moyeno. Yeah, auction cast mark and penny for it, who you took car. That are the analysis are all into a convention. Who you took car, can hear that to me auction a what to can. And Tiano and NDC for about power no me. Meanwhile, not perform time on my review or Mancasa. But NDC buyer. You do mellow munya candy be near the auction in legitimate loms. Hey, we are now brought to me a putanin sem. And now NPP lose the elections, I'm running to me casa. So going to me casa because see, right now, who said that Satan abroad the cast? Where was his power? Where was his authority? But your party winning tea. Young Kodia Kabensam, young Kodi KVIP, young Kwa Kobi Binia, ya dream of from Kwani to Aba. Now there's a transition period. You're calling the toilet. Now, said you, bro, some brother, and Jimia. You would never hear this anywhere in an advanced country. Say America for won't say Trump about. Set Trump still winning. You ever swear in 20th January or say me kwa CC JJ cats. They don't care. Obi again income of home. February Trump by the time they didn't make so now go for filing taxes. I do musica. They don't care. In Japan, young quiet before the young queer why are we doing that? And in any case, in America say I'm passing I and the lady said team no more cause PMMC for Korea almost where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? It is evidence of it is and pass obi akwa for on minus simple any capra by all means yanchini pakrono and running in me. Let the law, let the whip be cracked. Near who's a nipa way or your nipa bonnet. You will form my nisika. What I say? Or mining to minutes now or your mamma for. Or you'll be on your money that to her. The nation should crack the whip. Nani payanji or mine is a beer face. And that is why everybody supported Mahama beginning. This is a major operation because Ghana. It is the beginning. Because the project Mahama first year, level 100 for free education. Now it's kind of I'm buying to never cancel e-levy. What I'm buying to cancel COVID relief levy. Taxes be blown more better so. Port duties or so. And they say uncle corruption to Ghana where we are not definitely about on yeska. Everyone for your project. What by all means also about project, but it must be done according to the law. What if your video no here? This is the video that came out.
You said 72.
This was the video. Mami Bobium. It was a very short video.
1, 2. Imagine that. Imagine that. 2. You said 72.
This is it. Into one, the almost kind of apparently this is what they allege say a gold bus and almost kind of 1, 2. And what they have said and go say a port and a airport. This is a security area. Into almost for what? Or was it staged? I know I said that preference for some moment. I want to understand all these things. But fortunately, when you say UTV there, you're quite saying you tell someone. One place in Kobuatem because we need to verify issues. I think a man of one call and one channel to the beer. Instead of verify, we are just supporting the E. And your friend California Busom say, I say, when you go to be where we are good. I'm going to I'm passing where we are good and I did a video. No,
Adom.
Na mesrewa o senia ekoso yi eye abefontentan fidie su gold hu nsensem bi aye transport bi akoba bia omo kire mu se omo sha efri mu company ni mu no mesrew anye bia wate ho nsem
Me paucho pi ane ate ho nsem pa.
Okay.
Na yedi kan ma menye enchechemu kakra. PMMC eye Precious Minerals Marketing Company no eye aban dumakuo.
Okay.
Idea was say tiasie no say aban edumakuo ti nyina ya aban dia na ya aban edumakuo a parliament and na hihye mra say aban enti sa edumakuo no aban ti sa edumakuo no dumedi a ode share ne nsa ene say baako ne say efa no gold sika kokko ho atoto from small scale miners kwa no PMMC and the granted our licenses, no, more person, yes, no, or dear. And a tosu no, and say, your friend BB national affair. And he said, we will be all good export licenses now, person the good, a free Ghana ha, a co abrochira. The here say, and Ranich say, I was able to me the bread PMMC. Not PMMC, a susu gold, no, ehu dodo value no saa no GRA4 ehu tax a ewo se wutua wo saa gold no so ansa gold nako enti no saa dwumadie mienu wei eye titru dwumadie a PMMC of course the account bi oni egudie mu adwuma say rings bracelets ne chains ne ade eno so ka PMMC adwuma no ho na specifically on this issue enra PMMC as part of your operations no ye Bank of Ghana adwuma Bank of Ghana so obekaya in June 2021 a Bank of Ghana launched a program a friend of domestic gold purchase program. That domestic gold purchase program no na share that horn say Bank of Ghana the Ghana cedis ya krum ha sika no ebeto gold free small scale miners ho na omo dia build your reserves no esan say free Kwame Nkrumah breso ya chichire Ghana mine no na gold reserves Ghana mine we ye wono na 8.7 tons per 8.7 tons ye two gold or Ghana over 100 years now so na gold reserves ye won na ye 8.7 tons enti 2021 and are buying a free stakeholders including Bank of Ghana and the two omonim say monhwe na mundi huduma na yen pe kwan bi so a ye betumi raise sa reserves no because niwo ferry say omaya ananke e friend Gold Coast na ye two gold for over 100 years na ye ka say ye kohwe gold a ye die sie ato as oman sa no ahokyere bibia yetumi e de yensa to so aka say we na e di sie ho e wo ahokyere bremu no 8.7 tons per amparampara so efutu a aban de ma Central Bank no eto asum na 2021 June omo share sa dwumadie we ase enti omo to gold free ASM sector ho na sa gold no moto no PMMC and facilitate sa gold purchases no enti gold ne ba be see PMMC ho but as far as their gold ni ye ne dia pa de Bank of Ghana dia gold no Bank of Ghana dia enti me chirechire mu ekodru said enra sa operation we yeguso a ye ne Bank of Ghana no gold buy for Bank of Ghana and ye nsa kan a ye hu adwuma ye fra bibi aseyin ne say wo hwe say gold aba no weight ni nie purity ni nie and value ni nie sa process ni ye fra ne aseyin dwuma ye di no enu ntra na ye fra national assayers no enti no yeguso ye say adwuma na ena yehu ya say amanfo abo ewura bebi a ye adwuma no ena papa bi odi animu kokko kakra ase broni bi sa ono identify no ho say oye ye friend Joseph Yamin no oye national organizer for National Democratic Congress NDC no munya ntie bi say obi smuggle gold na mini aba bisa ho say so obi be smuggle gold or the be ba be fa official way obetua tax ni bibia
we dey ma me mfentwam ensensen bi ayesan tete ene say the course yi ye say ye mampanyi na busuafo dia na odi fa emirates nukura bia nim ena me kire mu say we ye dwumadie bi a Bank of Ghana and almost year 2021 Osha Bank of Ghana emra echichire Bank of Ghana na ewo mu say parliament ahihye wo mra no mu say Bank of Ghana wo ho kwan wo ho tumi say omu be deal in gold. In fact, it is the only bank in Ghana emra ema ho omu kwan say omu be deal in gold. Bank bia ni ho bio. Na omu de kwan hen
gold ni e good say eba yen yesusu ebi wo ha omo de koka reserves no and then me no ka say reserves na me see 8.7 no and then since 2021 Bank of Ghana share dwumadie we ase no reserves no move from 8.7 to about 30 tons because of dwumadie we nti na eto de bi so asa gold na bi and omo de gold for oil no nti no ɛfa no ɛyɛ gold no ɛkɔ na sɛ oil ne ba saa gold na bi no mu di tuaka
enti na kyese we no na omo de call oman bear so
no mo de call UAE United Arab Emirates
okay e wona na omo di saa gold yi ko
en patron
na ekodi djuma ben
eno de mean to mean chire mu because yen instructions ne say yen processing gold no na yen fanko
enti o pa je so obia hu momu eye Bank of Ghana for djumadi omo taidie ena chese na ekoso a
me patron ane and this is something na ade bia governor aba out abema data no bibia wa report on it and then me no ka say because of that program where your gold reserves a moving up to about 30 tons you know o share Africa mine way more Ghana o share a mine war Africa Ghana to number 5 as far as our gold reserves is concerned can you na yeda eto okra o na yeda eto okra but jumadie we nti ya peje yemu aba number 5
ore wa so kasemu no na wo kire mu se we no 2021 no mo sha ase se omo eyesa se gold for oil aban e de buy na aban na ama Bank of Ghana to me se omo bedi sa dwumayi enti e ba ne se na we nko ade ne de etimi aba abonten ne nam social media so a e ho nsem akwakoye bebre sa no
eno na me kire se until yesterday enkade we enye news enye problem e ade bia de bia ye last week and in fact even Monday and normal koye problem bi eni o nti e me wan say obi sebi boni hye ni trim odwen say or be say eduma na whatever it is whatever their intentions are no etumi etwamfoni bi dia to eye social media say obi ye bibi boni obi anya bibi boni no mo ba ye no nso no omo bro nkrofo omo threaten say wa obeka video bia ya bebo wa obeka video bia ya bebo ade omo de beyo omo bro nkrofo ade na Ghana fo omo ye omo adwuma ya fo omo adwuma omo ye adwuma den ama oman we sa no oman no etumpon na o subject omo to that treatment we ni aba is it fair fa o si omo na mu sisi put yourself in their shoes. Is it fair to them?
Wait, mami ntwa wanu bi mesre wa wadaroma. Na on say ya tete say aban we be abefri mu yi. Ebi ma yo madwen say gold no mo be smuggle bi di akọ. Mesre wo ye kwankyerefo panyi a woda adwumekuo yi anu anye bi amatete bi na den na madwumekuo no so mo ye e dia fa san sensem no ehun.
Mesre nobody smuggles gold through PMMC. Because the moment udi gold ne bebre PMMC no, what it means is that customs you are aware, national security you are aware, aviation security you are aware. There are several agencies involved in this, and yet PMMC nkwa.
Enti omo san so obi o won fa mefa PMMC for ensem.
Thank you.
Enti den na mo ye e dia fa no so
PMMC so. Omo smuggle gold no, omo fa PMMC so.
Enti omo mfa wa na chese mo nso mu ntimi nya bibia amfa ho ana.
Eno nya ye adwuma. Eno ye national security adwuma.
Okay.
Gold smuggling ye bra no ase no. Eno nya PMMC adwuma. Eno ye national security adwuma. Because eye boni gold smuggling eye boni eye crime. National security me ya we say omo di hu dwuma de bia no omo che nkrofo.
Yo.
But me chiremu say obi bia ni ho a so opeso smuggle gold or de beba be fa PMMC.
Okay.
That gold we a Bank of Ghana dia.
Okay. Enti car no ne ho dwumadie ni na de PMMC fo ho emmumu said the ensensem no ba.
That car no a PMMC car.
Mo car.
PMMC car.
Na Bank of Ghana e de adwuma no.
Ma chire wo mu say me nua ba tie mi yi.
Me tie wo yi pa na me pesa ahwefo nso eti ase ye nti na ama me nso me se sisi so no ebisa no.
Me say ma chire wo mu say PMMC any Bank of Ghana na eye say adwuma we.
Okay.
Eye dwumadie bi a Bank of Ghana launch no in June 2021. Amasan achirechiro mu ehun faso aba ama oman we.
Ane.
Na me chire wo mu say PMMC and the Divuma ma Bank of Ghana say I bet to talk sa gold na ebe boa no ama Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Intino say gold ne ba PMMC and a day bullion van ekoji.
Okay.
No de ba a assay center or a national assay center. Yes, no money we are. Yes, gold new we are. Then Bank of Ghana will make a decision. Say either say some normal way, yeah they call reserves, and now say some normal way, yeah they call UAE, and now say wherever it is supposed to go. I put your car or whatever it is.
Yo.
And no na me chire umuno.
Mate, ye bedo wase ora na na kwesi ewu ayem reninti mayemfa wo ensi ya ye ne kwan.
This is what happened about this gold issue, no. Inti onone penny nana kwesi ewu ya na ye penny or that PMMC no. Omo na ye ban agency wo hoda Oma setting up say any mineral be free Ghana no. They are the official government agency. Omo ehweso. So omo ye different from Minerals Commission for licensing regime ni to ni mining regulations ni ade to ba PMMC for the commercial aspect. Inti explanation opening the buy ni fact so who be believe you so believe you, it's up to you, but I'm saying say on mine no go the beer wo mine assassin in finfi nkruma ye law no Minerals Act 1960 no ye ni say go the beer oil beer bibia ye mineral beer wo mine mu no e Ghana mind it is vested in the president for the people of Ghana, and it's a Ghana japade no obi so be protect ya and can punish share. But the issue they say there are laws until no maybe rules and regulation or my no. So what I say, there are rules and regulation. Anything I want to mean for being kojina in some keke, unless you have taken the person to court. What prefer charges are in fact police department chobia law also 48 hours to charge the person one charging a money bill. Into their loss. I be our own person at the bay on any see the obi. Me say NDC and MPP this game of chess now or moody no. We yes citizens no must understand, but say yes citizens did we will never get to the truth of the matter. Here we are cause you be sa Ghana. Rolling to buy na rolling to buy no. Yet you will be a group 5 city will be a put a 5 city be a better. Yet in what I be crap to whom maybe we say. Still Ghana is epic. Ghana is struggling. And the follow law, you say, Jessica, the system. Now, your money here, Mohammed, you be there, first year level 100, free education. Yes, Ghana, there, yeah, 50% duty, no, Mohammed, yes, called the bishop. The things, the expectation, and go forward, so Mohammed, but you'll be able to do purchase. Nina requires money. 18 so money, be a question, be able to know. But the question is, are we doing it the right way? You see, the NDC team not do my bad. One of the key things that President Mama letter now or the press statement to say this is operation recover all loot. One can say recover everything, but recover be a gap. Don't say loot. The way we are, the one where we are, the question baby, they will recover it. One about chrono, they will recover it. One about for money sick baby, they will recover it. One for money Japan baby, they will recover it. But because just this week, I think that there's a petition to President Kufuor to only Chief Justice every So it's a lot of things going on at the same time. And the question, what is the plan? Because President Mama for 4 years until the constitution, maybe I said you can continue the court Supreme Court any different interpretation. Either say a referendum amend the constitution, I say Supreme Court different interpretation, but until then, President Mama 4 years. 4 years, do we have the necessary time? Say, they are very key things they're trying. Expectation is so high. We should super majority and for the President Mahaman. And just people want basic things to be done and they want to see it now. And although first year, President Mama 2025, the holiday man. And we will make sure say President Mama holiday said about wait to time. No, I hear the excess or any. But the people will also come back in 2026 and ask the question. They all cast out by anyway. I don't know any identity. Let's look at the issues and the other issues. No more I'm sending messaging that thank you so much sending messaging. But looks like Bebrentiase as a propaganda young for the young for the more than young no na moye na omino and call and family to my pan fry internet. I have here Janice Asaribedi Akoye, MPP chairman for the DC. or MPP chairman now, or I hear about also near there. Here are Fifi Ampari, so a deputy director of communication, NDC, UK. On also Baba Beka, Miss Ampari, okay, Miss Ampari, when you so bet me you background on idea more clearer. I don't know unless it be a baby or here. Don't press a issue, and yes, I did, that's okay. But yeah, person when you not church, what exactly is going on. Tina me bo video ni chair said about Munina Mubeku. So this is the explanation PMMC for him. I say, and yeah, bonnie, yes, I gold for oil program. No, my year say Ghana, Oko UK, or him queen, or more gold in Ghana. And it doesn't make sense. It's also Ghana say, be a better. You go no more instead of your dollar line becono. Said about bet me a CD dollar exchange rate and stability cakrabi to me abum. And it's I was saying here maybe. I didn't better and maybe you'll be at them. Don't worry, because I mean there's a way that you always have to separate the women from the girls and the boys from the I say maybe the atema will never get wisdom from issue. This is Ghana on minor assets, and when on minor assets is at stake, we must collect it, but we must follow the law, rules, and regulations. Because on minor get jungle. There's a reason why I work criminal act or maybe I also a law USA or law, Ghana or law, laws. The law must be applied. And yes, I back at we bet me a boy Ralph about who will go maybe or you are paying, not the above. We don't want that. We want to ensure, say, the mama better to govern with the rule and the mama to be or pay a law or till law. And I say he understands the law and he's somebody who about first one he applied the rules. And the rules are the ones that election actually the governance process is governed by law. So why would anybody want to go outside the law? Mr. As I be there, come on, because Mona Mote power mobile hand over to Muniano NDC for Mama. Good evening, Yakwaba.
Yo, Afia, good evening. I'm for conversation sharing with you for you, but I'm not even can you dear.
Yeah, Tonka, Tonka.
Yo, yeah, that was
agenda be some movie or mine in your man. I'm if you are Conyano, so and I said about Mobeja NDC for 0 or mobile Munis can be fine your project, and is that your agenda? Because that is what the impression that is being created. Agenda be how.
Yo, as I'm for conversation, I'm share with you for you now. First, I'm son chair on any of my power here. I'm a Ghana for you, no more on the name, or more Ghana, so you let me think some air cosu. I'm fine, chair, I can come on. I mean, you have 15 power. I guess it is about the second time. I never share up with Jumadia, so I didn't drink Ghana home. Congrats on the NDC winning power. I think so you did a good job. I'm for conversation chair as well. I'm fine, chair, some come Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on the step of take here about acknowledging the elections. I think said this was a very, very good thing to do. Papa no so did the peace of the nation. It did kind one drink sakasaka who say mine who did the peace of the nation or G about 22. I think that was a very honorable thing to do. I mean, Ghana for you na Omamo Ghana, MPP USA, NDC, Ghana for you na say even though there's been a little bit of a heckle and here and there, but Ghana has been peaceful. So I'm for conversation that Ghana for you na. And then now let me get to your question. Sir, you say what can be said? You say a friend is say or mine is can say. If you're making some intro about 22 binary, right? Right now, it's about the time I say Ghana, you're quite name. Me, I'm here as an MPP, a friend is saying, as a leader in MPP, no. People say about back to power. But does that mean, sir, I want Mahama to fail? No. What I say? Because mine koso, because you know more Ghana. What I say? Timbeso mine because man find into my pefra. A man better find into my pefra. The because that means we have to follow due process. What I say? It's another material says Mahama forming BB yes or more a friend is saying or more risk operation loot or say BB or kind. Maybe I am the yeah, I am the power because you know why? Either way it helps the MPP. I'm in church room. Why it helps the MPP. Fam, you power and Ghana for the 2 million shares. I just say 2 million shares. I know 1 5 shares. I see you Ghana for Ghana. See Ghana for you. I'm shares. I say yam brand name your money ye. I mean, GDC I had bet me. I just say so be car ya who no be your money sika. My support said that back on yen nimpi. And if Operation Loot can bring the person to bear, it will only help MPP to rid of the bad people, the bad apples in our midst. It's a positive. What I say. So Operation Loot so balance Omantimia and Chiro Bia. Let us say MPP no quick cash be yadi Ghana for no yetimia. What I say. So in either way, it's a positive for MPP. People are going about the bureaucracy. What authority do they have? I don't even want to get there. All that I'm saying is this is a good thing. Let's make sure that we do it. What the idea Penny said, it will become a victimization process. They said who set the example of John Rawlings' time, perform innocent and you victimize them. That is what I wouldn't support. But if you are following due process, I say we say we escape. Yet never court are finding guilty. Yes, everybody will support that. What I say, and that is what we want to see as a nation. In concept, I don't have any problem, but I think it helps my party as NPP for what NDC is trying to do. So it's very good. In the NPP, in fact, the team say, you saw what happened with this Yamin, and which is very unfortunate. So your institutions that are working, that somebody will take power into his own hands to go do this. We are not a lawless nation. Such things shouldn't be happening. What I say, and I hope so the security agencies will take on and do the due process and stop some of these things because it's getting out of hand. Okay, we have a vice president that has led by example because he wants peace in the nation. So why are all these things happening? So can people because
you are still in charge. You are in charge of security.
No, but sir, we are in charge. Start after now, it doesn't mean say we just go and we just as you say plan doing everything, we just take. We have to be responsible. Into why the citizens are going to investigate the situation, they're going to get to the facts of it. What you say? But you didn't even get there
in the first place. How did the people even get there?
We shouldn't even get there in the first place, but we have a vice president that has led by example. So peace in this nation. One time come but also baby peace in Timajiatum. That should be the standard of level that we should need to have in this country. Okay. So what I say. So the aircon a very unfortunate, and I think sir we should all condemn it. Let's allow due process to take its place. But as I said, Mahama Phil said, all by Operation Loot, no person here. As I said, it's nationalistic. Here, we don't vote people into power to come and loot the country. And I can assure you, so any year, every pronunciation is about power. Would also follow due process. They made the same thing. So it's a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's a good thing. It will help the nation. But let's not make it a victimization process. As I said, I need to hinty. Sorry, without any basis. That is what those excess and what we don't need. But the process, I think, is the right thing, and that needs to be done.
Okay. There's still, Mr. Atabedi, there are questions, but remember, because there are questions. I'm in charge of the country's interior and internal security. And he said, Yami, when you have access to maybe airport and airport, it means more fairly in terms of protecting the minor. Tina almost starting, but I'm President Mamaka said, look, oh, you are in charge. You have a president who's in charge. Put your foot down. That's what that. That's what we say. Well, lose until over and your man say Ghana shit. And that question, but answer, mommy, because it still begs an answer. Security coordinator. On your military. So for Yami to get as it means there is a gap there. What is who is in charge? How did he get access there?
A simple answer to it, right? Say right? Now back with Dibonia, right? Before the nation gets to your son, no, you have the first control over your son. Yamin in your benefit, he's not new to politics. As a matter of fact, he's part of John Mohammed's transition team. In several John Mohammed the
previous government, no, but transition
the previous government, but it's also the NDC organizing secretary anyway, as a youth organizer, so it's a leader in NDC. What I say? It's idea, even before the presidency comes in, I expect the NDC leadership.
The legal mandate,
I know about the legal mandate. Because she has so. Just because I don't say charity begins at home. What I say? Yes, there is a legal mandate, but that doesn't mean say men shall obey. You get what I'm saying? I'm not shedding responsibility. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So the right security people are looking into this. And it doesn't see it's not more contribute. You're just going to create more lawlessness. The security agency, they have to do their due process and see who was at fault.
Okay.
If you answer more mention trophy, Marco Fred, a friend is a opinion or that PMMC or church him. This is all part of the due process. But that doesn't shed us our responsibility. Say, me, I am a banana, me, I am a kuno. I will be thinking because you are government, you know, it doesn't work that way. So I expect charity to begin at home. I expect NDC to learn from the vice president and say, hey, on my what I say, you have a committee in place, which is a beautiful thing. To come and look at people who have still looted the nation. Why this staggering? It's uncalled for. What I say. So that is where we need to handle it from. And yes, we have the responsibility of the nation to December 7th. I'm not sharing that responsibility. We have to call the security agencies to be able to do their work. But I'm saying it's a collective effort as Ghanaians. We want the peace of Ghanaians. Into NDCO, and we'll be making sure, say, on minor, you prefer to my pay for send the vice president, President Baumia, lead by example. That's all that we are calling for.
Okay. Yeah, Vivian Perry, my member what is the first your comment about this gold issue and something about operation recover all loot to Nankasa so in general.
Michia near TFO around the globe are almost sharing and you may Minia Janice evening to you. I believe this afternoon at your end in the United States.
Yes, yep, you're right.
Michia, and thank you as well for showing a statesmanship by congratulating us for the win. It's a great thing. Some people are bleeding, so not everybody normally does that. Yeah,
bleeding is allowed. Bleeding is allowed.
Yep,
it's allowed. Absolutely, it's allowed.
We shall score you. We shall put pepper in your eyes. It is allowed. It's allowed.
It is allowed.
Yep. Come back better next time.
Absolutely. If you let me say, Adia answer na meko good assembly so no. Adia me hu a I am fair. In democracy ya yeshishe. Where se see say template no obroni na setting it up on Chrome. And no more ye na ye fair. And the yakofa template no so the aba say Adia ye fair ni pe say yen so yeshishe ye minus apepe. Beginning na brofo no uko into their history nyane pesa as down into kwa in omukrampo the civil war nyina ba mu at some point and still no do baby do na say smooth no but yen no ushakra within the shortest possible time how many years now 60-something years we are doing really, really good. And in near marketing kitty be better senior baby. That doesn't mean say we should check out near tuning in. I think we're on the right path and we should keep changing. One year UFO near kofa for near ye catcher and so on so called home and near kofa ba. Almost then decide is no almost do baby almost do. So ours will be fine. And Ghana, we're doing something good and we need to applaud ourselves for it. Yeah, we need to applaud ourselves. As an American good, and as a Minko good, as so surprisingly, when you said me see Ghana by having been super active on social media, I haven't seen this good thing until say more can once me. Me share that who NTA and Conco share near see any near see.
But what's your interview now?
Interview, no, but it's difficult, you know, when you listen to both sides of the story, or because even there are three sides of story. There's your side, my side, and the truth. So there are three sides of the story. Until me think kakra say me I can be say yes, I'm a coachy good, and I say good. No, I'm almost smuggler, and I almost smuggler, and it's difficult for me to tell.
So I am about the general objective, President Mama plan, because social a 120-day planner. Key in the plan is this operation recover all loot. You know, what's the objective behind it? Because they say the only have them is as a and Kofobi taking the law into their hands. That's why I was trying to put it to him. So until 6 January. So you still have the mandate say will not be protected the internal security of a minor. And so you are responsible. It is the failure. You make me hold you liable for negligence, failure to protect or minor. You have a duty to protect Ghana for internally. Into 1 year you will be proud, you are responsible or you are liable for that. Into yes, our objective. Now, what is the objective behind it? Is it witch hunting Because now that's what people are saying, say witch hunting. More time for
it's never witch hunting, and it will never be witch hunting. ORA, Operation Recover All Loot, was part of our campaign promise as the NDC and President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, that he promised Ghanaians, say, nyame boa Ghana for to abama yeni eba abemwa. We will make sure we recover any state, whether asset, whether in terms of land, in terms of security, in terms of money, anything that belongs to the state that has been unfairly taken away from Ghanaians and is now owned by individuals. That is all. Having said that, one can say, or the vigilantes about the table crew and on my yes, sir, a Jumano. Or see, court be shame, and court to shame, and you are found guilty, then we will cover that asset, and then whatever punishment that the court will pronounce, whether is prison, then it's accordingly measured, and then you go. So Operation Recover All Loot is not persecution. May come Ghana for United. It's not persecution, but rather is prosecution. When you are found guilty, you will be prosecuted. We are not going out there to persecute anybody. It will never happen. The John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, that I know, we all know he's a peaceful person. He's not gonna go around doing this. But Maminke Vivinjo said, anytime there is a government change, the ecstasy of excitement and for Bonnie being so we have to be very careful. So right from day one, people they take advantage of the vacuum that will be left. Security. If you leave a vacuum within security, so we will ask the state agency, the security agency, they should tighten up and look after the country. So say, you be hand over. You transition team. Anything as the transition team, and we say, let them release here and drop him. Say, anything is too no. They should discuss it with them. We have a solid transition team in place. Having said that, President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, has released the 4-member, is it 4 or 5-member?
I think a 5-member and a 4-member oral team, no? And your oral team.
So, yes, 5-member oral team, which is Honorable Samuel Kujato Ablakwa, Mr. Daniel Domlevo, former Auditor General, COP retired, Nathaniel Kofu-Boachi, Mr. Martin Pebu, and then Mr. Raymond Acha. And we all know that these people are statesmen. The only to trust them, and they're not gonna go about as vigilantes persecuting Ghanaians. Ghana for Obianka ne Komantuni. And
Mr. Vivian Brown, like I said, of course, is airport or saying, well, is this something that you describe as a vigilante act? Because the open clearly shows that outside the oral team, no. Because I mean, can't oral team, no. I didn't see any member of this oral team, no, ever video him.
Oral team, no, Grandpa, no, surprisingly, I don't believe that they've been given power, so go and run after people, chase them, and then take. It's investigating. You investigate, you bring it, and then a team will sit down, they have a look, and then they will then ask the appropriate security agencies maybe to do their work, what to do with the arrest and further investigation and what have you. Now, Nyakosu airport, no, Mekase Mehubi, Matibia, Nemedintro. You don't
have to see it.
You
say you don't have to see it. I want there's a video. Let me play the video. Where there's a video, technically you have seen it.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Hey, 2, you said 70. 2.
what went on. But one thing they interview and the video need be filmed when they were moving the things up and down. And you won't see any member of oral team no ewum. And I said, okay, an oral team no I'm more Monday say investigation. No more evidence. I'm prosecuting for. But this clearly is not prosecution. This one is as a but the question is, who mandate men how they call it? And you remember, so I was trying to draw a similarity between this and the Abronia MPP for new winning power 2016. Almost it was completely lawless because we need 2 minutes of a job. That would be a further stealing or conversion or an unlawful entry. No, because you don't have no right. This is police. Police they have the power of seizure, which the law gives them anyway. But when neither the people in the picture have the power of seizure. It's just one police officer who initially was. Yeah, because to show video, you can see that there's an officer standing there. Into officer then the police service because he appears to be wearing a police uniform. So perhaps the police must tell us why the officer was there, what was his reason for being there, and then but clearly said this is outside the aura. So what is happening? NDC has not
until I've seen a police report or a press release from the police and a press release from our party, the NDC. It will be difficult for me to comment on this. Yes, there are crowds there. Yes, there are people there who said something is being taken out from a van. They're counting it. I don't know Yami Omuboni Dinkramen who know video, so I don't know who they are. But I heard Yami's name in the audio that you played. Yes, Ahonamete Yami Din. Whether they've even got the name right, whether it's the right person, sometimes it's difficult. So I will not prematurely make statements that might not be right. Yes.
Okay. Well, the other videos I know the videos here. I think we have full video interview now. No, but again, if everybody say NDC supporters and is it something that the party will dissociate themselves from and now say maybe something is in the right direction because maybe any other money normally call on almost if you are to say yes, people are really taking something that is on manager party away and they need to secure it before it is too late.
I feel sometimes somebody might raise alarm and then obekonona it be a false alarm. Until court not say a false alarm is you need to find a way of making sure that things doesn't get out of control, and then you can even apologize. I'm not saying and that there are situations as well. Yet me raise the alarm now. Bekonona sana nipano raise the alarm no sapepe penalty. And I believe. President John Dramani Mahama or calling for calm. Say, Ubianto nebo yehu videos are include across the Sassaniyama, whether a year NDC for say a year nipa bonin for no moody bonish NDC. And I okay, yes, sir, I bet be yehu this from the NDC and from the NPP. Maybe these are some of the things that yen democracy yes, sir. You didn't maybe at Wakwemu na yenso as citizens. Yes, we need na ye home efim. As I said earlier in my opening remarks, look, so we share the template of democracy in the West. Oman Fani is you. You can military not take you over pain. So and now you won't even think like that. You will never conceive that idea. Until you go so yes, Ye nyani 100% pepe. But me say we call for calm and then we make sure the security agencies do their work. Now you be okay as a country, and we are okay as a country. You win election come. NPP omu defeat here. Waba abe concede kama. I think that there are few misunderstanding with some of the constituencies. But no crampo there are illegalities. But omu guso ayabeko court. It will be resolved, and this is what we're looking forward to as a country.
Okay, but say back to Chief Justice. Then there's also another petition to fire the Chief Justice. They won't comment from Sister Penny Joyce Bawa Muntari, who is saying that the EC boss no has to go. And NDC, are you focusing on fixing Ghana? Because the OSHA 1.6 million extra votes now. People have super confidence, not just confidence in you. They have super confidence in NDC. Say NDC is what has what it takes. Ghana year. The future is for NDC to face Ghana. So the expectation is high. It's somebody signing my way. It's appearing that there's an agenda. It's 15% we is a question. But before that, Mr. Azarbediako. Will you accept someone more fairly in managing the last minute security before you hand over to NDC? More MPP before more fairly because it looks like they be a different from your two baby security breaches. Now, for question, I can say you are still in charge of national security, of internal security of Ghana. More to say more fairly, how they are more demand 100%.
No, okay, men can say fairly if you are putting numbers to it. You see, why am I saying this? The elections, right? The opposition party are winning the elections. How you handle situation moving forward is very critical. Imagine, say, and Kaihun say a friend is saying, I mean, when you couldn't go for Makoye, I mean, immediately. What I say, and I say, and baby, I can say, ballot boxes, you can put the country into civil war. There could be a lot of major commotion. What I say, because there's a lot of feelings in the air. That's like I said, the public toilets. See, so as a government, you have to be very tactful in the way you handle these, so as not to lose the peace of the nation. But also, these things do not randomly continuously occur. I think, sir, that said, no, the uncertain okay. Or PMMC, they called the police. The police came in there. They took the gold. They took it to the armory. They resolved it. The next day, everything was resolved. But you have to be very tactful in this. Intimidate, I feel say as long as we have a peace in the nation, we are on the right course. But should these things be happening? That's what I would encourage the security agencies. They need to do more. They need to do more to make sure it doesn't happen. But we are in a very critical period that say, man, play on role well. People will think, so, yeah, the only nation I will crack it down on us. But I say, some people also feel say, hey, any losing election, you're not protecting us. It's a very delicate balance that I think our security agencies need to do. That's why they are doing their very best possible. You just want to see more, but I won't say it's a failure because I feel like I can command it to. What I say? As long as
before I'm background, but some money am ungovernable and difficult more.
If you are my person ungovernable and say a sitting VP emerging to say Melusi election 2016, how long did it take for Mahama to concede? What I say? There can also a comfortable lead. There was a lot of commotion going on. You have a certain vice president that has shown leadership by example. This grandma out based on your internal collation, as a party, you see Lucy. So we are congratulating you, John Mahama. Is this a leader who wants the nation to be in a hapok? That's not the character of such a leader. But I think, sir, the euphoria of a new NDC winning the elections, but some of these things is what is causing some of these things to happen. Now, security agencies need to be able to set up. But like I said, they also have to make sure they don't go in with brute force because you can send the wrong impression. But as question will be then it can let things to escalate. I think we are fine still until there are periodic violence going on and on. But until that large scale, so they should try to still do more as a security agency, but still maintain the peace. To me, that's not failure. I think they are doing their best, but they're trying to play within the confines of the law to make sure that the nation doesn't get into a havoc.
Okay, but before Fifi, so but now can be about say a friend say because yet we are not to make create chaos, which is understandable. But would you most explanation era Nana Akosua we are the mind? People still don't believe. And conform baby why do this as a them go to movie? I don't where is that coming from? Why do people perceive more MPP for no more buying say movie or manager because you said yeah report and was asking about say to go near or man penny in the cronies people in government. Why don't people believe you people?
You see, I wouldn't even say people don't believe in us. We are that is a certain perception that is coming out there from a certain group of people. I can believe if you talk to a lot of people too, and they will come out. I feel like what you mean,
yeah, you talk about.
A lot of people also believe that wasn't the case. I've read the comments that has come up from this. A lot of people believe that wasn't the case. But generally, you know, right, in our society, democracy is growing. Definitely, there will be people who say, so when you see power and you are trying to do things under the bag, others are trying to protect your friends or anything. But it's upon us to come out and explain. In fact, I could say why I am it. So to me, Kenya bread about church say na the NCT. See, but see, we are kind of Ghana gold. You buy that Ghana gold. So I kind of saying 8.7 tons from Nkuma bread to time about power. 2021, and I mean, say it's about 30 tons. After the baby Ghana gold. What I say, it doesn't even add up. But perceptions, people have perceptions, and it's up to us as a ruling government to be able to dissuade those perceptions. In fact, they could say, "What you say, this is go for Brahma, Mark Tom, and say, I dare me, and so be any so." Because we are dear of mine, it be to fuel, it be protecting your own battle. Sometimes we have been doing. Our church, I say, Monday, Yakwan, you be coy.
Yeah, but
I say, they could see saying that.
Said documentation on how this and I mean, that's what boys are more about. Some more proper documentation.
So documentation, new one. If you question ask yourself, say, what prompted Yamin to go there? Okay, documentation will be real. But that is why the PMMC. So he's taking on suspicion. Other actual suspicion because by the time them say, what kind of Monday crown? What they refer to Omayebi. So that is ongoing. But it's not even saying they started. What I say about documentation, this the process have been going on since 2021. What them back and say? It is I mean was we want to say okay, mu be no okra na you call the check please was no you who say this is our proof. It's even different. But you cannot just act on suspicion. What Yamin could have done was, hey, we don't put a press conference, French and for the you say MPP so we are good. You proof in A, B, C, D. But as a monk person, Hannah almost smuggle no. What they could have gone there to verify, but to carry people, to carry talks with you, to just go out there to say so, you believe you have a suspicion you're smuggling gold without any proof. No, I think it was very uncalled for. You know, and we shouldn't be, you know, this thing shouldn't be happening in such a delicate time in our democracy. I think so that is what I have to say with that. I think that we've handled it in the best of our ability. Still, there is peace. I think Kushi has done a very fantastic job to explain to Ghanaians and say, hey, and yes, will be in the area any gold, but this is due process has always been going on. And the questions are verifiable. I want to say one of the things say, I am as an MP party. It's right information bill. What I say? At the DRC, Obia Betinia query Kushi bring your records. The say what I say. It's there. MPP passed it.
So really, you know, processing for right to information bill a very long process.
But your press conference, your press conference, fear. Matisa NBC Professor Kufuor person we are go could Dubai. Me evidence in here. Mummy and Connie and Koshe. What I say? Yes, press conference. We are not go need na kwe. No, yeah, the fine. That time man. But time on information. I don't know how free no free tax with the deal much. The same time that he could have got those tax, you could have got the press. What couldn't he? You see, we shouldn't belittle the situation. There's a right way of doing things. What I say? We are going to come now proof. That's why you set up this oral. I said this is oral, you know, to recover what is it. So there's a process there. So that we have to let due process follow due process. That's what we are saying. Say, because whom said they are breast, you couldn't go for under suspicion, and people lost their parents. Yeah, former President Kufuor. You need to move for 1 year. I know 1 year. You see, these things have always been occurring in our nation. Our democracy is growing. It's growing. So let's make sure we grow from there and we don't do some of these little things to bring our democracy down. I think as a nation, you making sure it doesn't happen again. You made a very good example. So I brought you time. See, as I see this time, when are we going to stop? This should be the time that these things stop and our democracy matures to the next level.
I think the onus is also on the party for no. So yeah, and I'm also I don't know. Say and I'm also say excitement here. They will say they will to me party supporters in Casa because in the case of Abronya time 2017, the Kaipa Abronya Kodije, me family in the interview, the matter and I was like, you see, and I didn't see party for no calling him to order and say Masa Jai, Sabi Jai, Jan Krasemno. We have police, we even have military, we have national security. Or suspicion says it. Talk to the police and let the police do that. Where the who civilian, who need any police training, no law backing, nothing. No more reverend for 4 feet. Now do a bit no obedient to not make us a I brought your mother there and I'm go fair as we know memory. Because maybe fear now buy and get you because I have the right to self defense. Now my comment you them the so. You don't have any right to enter my house. So but I see there. And people are doing it. Walk airport. This is a security zone. So the funny police will have a right to just arrest you. They have a right to use any reasonable force to get rid of you. But make a party for the it's likely about society. But if you remember, are you aware of our team? No, they have this any information about this gold transaction in a movie. Any are they able to verify for us? Or move to me about confirm it and then we are and because they okay, we see there are 3 sides. Sometimes there's also the angle of the truth. Is a transitional team, or oral team, able to tell us that you are confirming a legal transaction, and yes, something that is in the interest of our buying and out a particular person. This is not fraudulent, it's not illegal. Now, are they able to do that for us?
If you that say, what's I be answer na me kohono, me pese, minia Jonas Ekasa ebony maybe so me pese me clarify near maybe na Ghana's poetry who say some of these things are AC are and ne MPP are crying wolf. I'm not trying to do politics of equalization, but sometimes near fear home. And Ubisan said, Argentina Ghanaians are so suspicious. Bibia ye fish so movia. Yawa and a Canada Japan. On Jonas in your MPP in Canada Japan. Or your MPP mumapa. A penny pound. The catcher and say, almost the MPP. They are looting Ghana as there is no tomorrow. Me boy,
the video is out which he could not give us any evidence. And once over time,
but as some unyakatu microphone team, officer wakanawa at microphone team, they've processed it. So sometimes they shouldn't look far. They should look within themselves. So why are these things happening? No, I
like the point that you are making. Say there are more yearning in a money basis. The more evidence is right there in MPP. Say or more chief apparatus in this Canada. I confirm say or looting like there's no tomorrow. So evidence now there or Canada.
Thank you. Salam pesa me chere MPP phone now omutie yen any Ghana phone na keke. That alone is good enough for us or for any Ghanaian to be suspicious about any movement. So, but we're still calling for calm. We want this transition period to be done smoothly and peacefully. Ubisa Bibi also our phone to me ascertain the fact say I'm part good, sign here. I believe so. I believe say and like a career corner, we might be able to have some press release on this good. Until I've seen press release, I've made certain phone calls and I've got the total truth on what actually transpired there. It will be difficult for me to mention names or to criticize because is here. At the Crampa. Now, yes, it's a few box name until someone can say a good, but it's a government of Ghana good that was being transported to Dubai. A lot has been there's been so much. If you spoke about say Adana party phone calling near maybe said that they don't call the people into order. You cite example of Abronia Mutai. NPP never calls anybody into order. You and I know this. Omar Kunyasi for 8 years. If you trust them, near my see Ghana. Abronia no won't to me, Mekai or by catcher and flag bearer, So when a new court said before, no soul in the MPP came out to criticize these people and
but must we continue to do the wrong things?
No, I'm not saying that.
Make I say before yes, and I brought your time. I was on I mean, cited I interview. It was more than 45 minutes. I was going back and forth with him. Say, you don't have the right to do that. Is wrong. And the meaning said Ghana for 32 million and supported the MP before you know. Although a moment be confirmed, a man be condemned, which is true. But must we continue that?
No, not at all. And in my opening statement, Mika said, "Nia ye bibia, and the tangent we are going now is a great tangent. But in Yema bi oha a better sing kakra because every day, every year in or year out, no bronika bibi, we will seek for perfection, and I think we will get there. But a kakra. You go so Ghana. So we share yes, you or Ghana. How we are comporting ourselves to do with our democracy is beautiful. We are not there yet, but we are on the path, and let's keep working at it. It's only Ghana we have. Someone said about to him. It said, we need cry from Mount. To trust him. It took our chairman. I said, Becca said, so there will be peace. And we won, and there is peace, and that is what we're looking for. There's no place like home. Ghana ya bakope, sa Ghana no nkwane ya wo. Ti ya beshaso, we are MPP, we are NDC. It doesn't matter. And we have a leader who is so peaceful, a president-elect who is so peaceful. We all know John Mahama, His Excellency, a very peaceful man. Yes, this time around, Jenny said, nobody is going to be father for all. Nyawaya boneno manenko. Wawa ben wono kasa ben mukrawaka. Osi uye bonea yeso mua nkwa wasem nkwa na obeko. And no and the Sagana.
Must not boss case yes, there's a valid conviction for court. In the end, be muya ora no more must log the no son can and also monko recover and also because there's a valid conviction. There's a conviction in sentence or one of my judgment in it.
One example that we hope that Mama is going to lead by example. We just said in a Tamakudi and come back up. But Mama, let me give you an even fresher example. Last week, our parliament.
Article. Mr. Atari, article. To me reading more text messages in there. Mode abano. Yera. Adjoa. Okay. Ebumo so I word on Moody article. Okay, on this mass log issue. Yeah, let me just go to this mass log issue and raise the question. Okay, mass log issue. I say NDC government will search that mass log woman who is in America or enjoying normal here say Emra and so no so be so that they will see where the law is. I think Mohuma not to take orientino.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, me talk about Mohuma not take orientino.
Thank you.
I was trying to read that.
Yes, so what can mass log there no? But I wanted to give you an example aside mass log, but mass log is a low hanging fruit. So John Mahama can lead by example and first prosecute. That's a very low hanging fruit. Building the coffers. But another example. Last week, Parliament, right? Some CBC. Your running mate, which is Dr. Matipoku Prempe. We don't need to pay ex gratia on Article 71 to the ongoing parliamentarians. Because where you are Sama, John Mahama Kra, and I can say, I do obey them. NDC parliamentarians were on there, say, oh, near Yabanos, Munchama. What's what making? So, this is what I'm trying to tell you, sir. There are low hanging fruits which NDC can even go ahead and get it done now. They shouldn't keep on blaming. Oh, sir.
I'll go in parliament.
I'll go in parliament.
No, man.
Exactly. You should say that from this parliament, Article 71. My journey monuments. And if I say, because my power, it shouldn't take effect. I'm like, at the end of the year, why should we wait for Muhammad to come to power? We get this CA. And that is what Napo was pushing. Say, hey, Mahama say you be cancel Article 71. Let's lead by example as parliamentarian term. Almost your mumpini. What you saying we pay because oh yeah, I can send the videos. Yes, I had the videos and that's last week. But bro. I can look for the statement. I say currently, you know, I say that what the NDC said was John Mahama says he's going to cancel it, but John Mahama is not the president, so why cancel it now? It's like what? So we have to pay it. That was his direct statement. And it doesn't even make sense. At the end of
because as far as he's concerned, as of now, the evidence is valid, is legal, it's in the constitution. You have to committee now your own recommendation that they've sent their report by now. And what Mahama was saying is reference to from 2025 Parliament, not this current.
And I make us say, if you are Sadian yen train MI 2025, and yet we cannot say, see, I have one name.
The minister said, and the most of them if you are 8 years, I did. I think no one who said, yeah.
When you say, as Gachania was a CA, you know, when you say they paid upon every term ending, right? It's a MVP pneumonia because we have lost more members leaving parliament. What you say? I'm coming to you. What you saying? You're going to get Kusamunchama, but I see because I did a boy on mine. Propaganda. This is something that we stood in the floor of parliament.
Why refuse you not to collect that?
Efia, na yeka say, Mahama Abase. Yes, this election, no, you and I agree, say, because something that even Baumel to agree, say, we need to review it. Mahama actually say review. So as a nation, no, our perception said this is not good. So why continue something that is not good? That's what we are saying. And we are saying that this is the time to lead by example.
Before Amoba Power 2016, no, not GI report, Ghana Integrity Initiative report, any Transparency International report in United States. People, the perception was that conformed. In fact, at a constitutional review commission, one of the key recommendations in the commission's report was that Ghanaians were not in support of
exactly my point.
You never revisit that issue, say, in fact,
we've never had two presidential candidates. Okay, we are.
And one more time, committee now, they even recommend that you have first lady for the count. That is under you. That's our committee. And it's a genuine. 8 years, I'm not going to come out scrappy. And I'm over the press attention on scrappy. If you're opening a point and say, if you a genuine somebody scrappy, leave Mahama or ban from the 2025. Now I'm testing if you're best scrappy. And you have number money.
If you don't know when you have a cranny say, okay. It has always been committees that have been recommending. So, okay, Mills, Mreso, Yam Mreso. And this election, we had the two front leaders, which is John Mahama and Baumia, saying said this is not good. This is the only time where we've had consensus. What I say? So, and you see that. So why not implement it? Why wait for 2025? That's the point I'm trying to make. So at the end, this is the only time we've had consensus. You can't tell me, so you're in 2025, Mra. But I said, there is a low-hanging fruit. But you see, if I really don't like politics of equalization. So MPP na de biya na idea to trust them na Ghana. So Pobia or can't say I don't want to use the word campo. Ghana is the channel part. I said don't get here. I don't want to use that because that's we are going to be why in a car say a friend is saying I say be to court. Yes, you don't get here. I said get here be say all these things. But people, what I say, some of these things, so let's not play politics of equalization. What we need to do is we need to be able to move on from it. I believe, sir, there's a new mandate. As you said, Ghanaians have given this a new mandate to rule. As MPP, we have a responsibility to be a responsible opposition. What I say, let's not be revisiting some of these old issues. Let's use it as a springboard to develop Ghana. Mimi Jitum said, MPP as a party, yes, we've lost the election, but we are going to be a credible opposition to hold them to their whether we have the numbers or not. We've shown it before. I say NDC too has to show that leadership. So the two mina my you better idea be Ghana open to next say oh that Biana MPP say we can always go back. I can give you a lot of examples. NDC in the past. I say but engo si free. Yen drain Ghana ye koye nim. I started by congratulating NDC. So my idea, you beat us the elections. The vice president, I congratulate him. You've done a very good job. I support an NDC that's going to make Ghana the best of Ghana. What I say, man, will put your feet to the fire. Until I can tell you, say, oh, your low hanging fruit, very low hanging fruit. A prosecuting area, John Mahama, Chenebra, NDC Kamayan, who we are, Yohobia, Jimmy will support you. What I say, that is how we need to rule Ghana. Or see a coin with policies that's going to better the better of Ghana, not just say Ghana. Mahama, over the whole Ghana, NDC for NDC one quarter. He's in charge of the whole nation from December 7th. So we'll give him the necessary support, but I said we'll also hold his feet to the fire when things are not right. If you Article 72, come in, make a parliamentarian and say, hey, this is my vision. And that's what I would have told them.
Vivian, what do you have to say about that?
That's Minia. Every say, Minia Jonas, Waka Sama Mamere Ahokakra. Asante kasema na kankasem yes you dwan be no mu ya se enfreni dwanfu bon inti yes we na ya propose say ye babaye. This is what recommendation is telling us. A Ghana form pay yin feel ono so aka so ba the whole constitution, actually the constitution review no besa ye den akoso ama implementation yes ye baby loopholes where say tight no water tight no ye behwe na tight no na nia esese oyifio no ontimi sorry prekope ni enkonko yimfio. It has to be in consultation. People have to agree to it, knowing that they are in that particular parliament. When they are hesitant, they're not getting any gratia. Ontimi sorry prekope na onka se me yefio yes ye nyanti me yefio and yes na unfortunately ye boomai. So I don't buy that argument from Minia Jonas, unfortunately. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, CJ, and also is there my agenda because me President Mama 120 day we know any there's nothing like that in it, and this is what I put up here because the first nominate within the first 14 days. 14 days Nkwa has not kick started because he has to be sworn in and 14 days Nkwa started counting. Constitute the leanest government, code of conduct and standard for hold the national economic dialogue, which is very key because say Mahama, you're very focused. That's why I don't understand. Is it part of Mahama key agenda? No, because on one man marking scheme. Number 5, within the first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes, which is e-levy, COVID-19 levy, 10% betting emission levy. Now Mahama so be if you. And then he says obey commence drafting of the needed legal amendment to 24-hour economy. Or starting yana just a 24-hour economy. Establish accelerated export development council. Convene a national consultative conference on education. Implement a no academic fee for level 100 for non-Beko University. Introduce the following free tertiary education for disability for any medical care fund. Mahama Cares. And also Mahama, which is something that I think is very, very ambitious and very good because it's in the line of to say President Kufuor maternal mortality NHI after President Kufuor the buy. Commence the distribution of free sanitary pad for female students, which is something that Mahama started before, and no free power. And then 13, and then Ora Anishia, institute inquiries and forensic audit into the following matters of public interest: the collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks, 25 billion a bank restructuring of the banks, illegal printing of money, $58 million national cathedral scandal, so obey investigation room, COVID-19 expenditure, obey investigation room, PDF scandal, obey investigation room, Ejapa, obey investigation, SM, obey investigation, ambulance spare parts deal, obey investigation room, 13th African game, Sky Train Nisika, obey a investigation, Palugu Dam, obey investigation, Mass setting a Kotoma school for Uncola, say, obey investigation room, Galamsey, obey investigation, fraud, missing excavators, obey investigation room, tricycles, Sputnik vaccine near Kotoeno, a COVID-19, obey investigation room. Mama, big a year on what they actually also. Should this not be the priority, as they say there? CJ and more money pressure, and that's what people are saying. So which one is the priority? CJ the enemy and so when I receive it, okay, well the petition is to go for the moment, but may assure say and only LGBT I'm sure people will not touch it and to say President Mahama, but come where you want to be CJ, easy chair. What is the plan?
If I'm that say what bought in Yama way now, so and can remember born or was say CJ no a kind of plan one now. Emi one says that question naturally will be NDC for because CJ no in crack time me wa and NDC for no and a petition CJ. A Professor Stephen Kweku Asare, a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. Or no, a petition says CJ in Yama or Yama be away of seeking the removal of her ladyship, Gertrude Saki Tikonu, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, on the grounds of stated misbehavior and incompetence. 1 and 2. Individual citizens, let me see that court. A petition, send me your removal based on Bibia me fi se CJA and to this Professor Kweku Asare Nsuye or ye top law practitioner onimumbrem into no one who near atosi or baby no this CJ court. So I'm really surprised that people are associating this to the NDC. To me, I see yes the timing, so people can easily associate it, but it's coincident. It's coincident. Because when your NDC for say the petition CJ say we should remove CJ. No. So a person Ghana poet here Obia Etino or Thomas say and your NDC is a Ghanaian to say no so a law professional or practitioner or no a petition CJ on 2 grounds. That is stated misbehavior and then incompetence.
Is this something that NDC will be interested in? Meaning, say the petition is directed to President Mahama there, but is this something that NDC will be interested in to pick it up?
Is CJ
that means that President Akufo-Addo.
Oh, of course, because by law, say President Akufo-Addo the next president has to do something about it. And the next president does not even have the powers to actually remove CJ. All they do is the article, and I think it's one of the clauses. It is the clause.
Yeah, almost establishing prima facie case against. It's very difficult to remove the CJ because
absolutely.
But
so they are well protected. So all the president does is the president sets up a committee, 2 Chief Justice and non-member, somebody who is not parliamentary. You just appoint these people. They go, they set up this committee. They investigate the case, or they go into the case and then bring their findings to you. That is all it does. The president, no president has that power to take a CJ out. And I believe it doesn't matter whether it's President Akufo-Addo or President John Dramani Mahama. You have to act upon this. It has to be acted upon because a Ghana need what petition. Ghana need to make the president Akujina court. Tama maybe cite example. Tama Brexit started Brexit. We had a lawyer. Of the a whole your friend is saying party. Akujina court. Or the consecutives Kojina court over it.
Okay.
So because it do be not free say consecutives for no chim and brane kakra. Into a Jomu Kojina court, and she won the case. She won the case on that one. And the Ghanaian citizen, Ekasa me petition CJ on this as I say TNSM. No president can say, I'm vetoing this. I don't want this to be held. You, the president, all you need to do is trigger the committee, the people that you appoint, and then listen to the grounds that has been tabled before you. Thank you.
Advice at least one setting up committee, to get into the matter.
Absolutely. Obibeka say only time, but Mijiji saw Ombre, Obitimi appointed. in Crawford. So I know no Jahodia, the next president, which is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that he has to act upon.
But how about CJ? Your friends saying EC Electoral Commission. They are to say yes, it's a penny Joyce Bow Muntari crack comment. Say one say some advertising position. And no, I can't this agenda. Is it something the NDC wants to pursue?
If we don't know Electoral Commission going into these elections in Yemebia, na ento asum Ghana for asum, we have to challenge them on several things. Do baby cry indelible ink. So mu yefi. There may be almost say Ghana card in Kwane the Betwaba. In some way be brave. There has been so many flaws. Almost cripple some of our BVD equipment not to a proper contractor, and Ghanaians' data are out there. They have been stolen BVDs as well, which were now properly reported. The NDC has to have the information and chase them before all this came to light. So there are catalogs of issues with the EC. And because of that, I believe the EC chairperson, Jane Mensah, and then assistant Bossman Asari, they would definitely, so be a petition on Okrampo for them to be removed. Me and TA, I will petition for them to be removed.
You will petition for the EC chair to be removed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because of indelible ink, okay. Because of that,
there is a lot more.
Yeah, but in the case about to be able to be, I know there are always issues with it. Is that the necessary grounds to establish a prima facie case against the EC or not? Because I know social regulation, you must have.
There is definitely loads of grounds that we can petition the EC chairperson and then the deputy to be removed based on even some of the printing papers. We get told this say the mistake, the recalling of ballot papers because mistakes for particular people, and even the disenfranchised of SAR, your friend is saying SAR 20. These are all some of the things. Ghana Nibia getting a petition for the EC chair lady and then the deputy to be removed. And as I said, me a Ghana, if I think I have enough grounds and I've spoken to my lawyers and we have that, and I have the money to petition them, why not? I'll put it in.
Well, Fifi, I get your point. Fifi see he will lead the crusade to at least file a petition to the president against the EC director, a chair, no one, a deputy, no bossman aside, so that they are removed. Because a couple of examples, and Yama Baby Roma and Lydia Dance said, it will not be in the interest of the EC. Any Ghana, democracy, now fire to your house. Mr. I get a quick one on that because I'm going to NDC, whether you are focusing on fixing Ghana, changing Ghana, and I say, most son has some Hayana, more now, because 7 January, and it's going to go because we have this 120-day plan that we have to talk about. But Mr.
Quickly, let me share a few things. I'll start with the Chief Justice, The Chief Justice, Senator Fifi, I believe so. Every member has the right to petition the president. What you say, and the fact that petition president doesn't mean say your allegations are correct. So I don't see anything wrong with a member petitioning the president. Me, I have my own opinion on it, but my opinion doesn't matter. I'm not a legal expert. What I say, if I think the president will look at it, and as the Constitution says, maybe set up a team and they will look into it. And they will see whether it is justifiable or not. In Company, I wouldn't even get there because you'll be all right as a citizen. But I mean, if you think the ECA, so on a lot of examples about the EC, and it appears that he's bordering on witch hunting. I think that makes us prior to the elections, all the parties go see EC. I am my NDC for what chance to say, all my accusations against the EC, the moon proving and say EC, I say. Young Nigerian, I'm there was only one case of referendum saying, movie will be ding. So they decided that we should go ahead and have the elections. They couldn't prove anything against the EC. Okay. Mikabe is saying, at the end of the day, Obibeka said, what do you call it? The end result justifies the means. Yeah, election, look at the issues connected. We've had very peaceful elections. Assembly NDC. What do I say? Some of the issues are already by say indelible and these are part of the processes. That is why the issue has a room for people to come and critique them. Like
but already just confusion elections move.
Oh man, I don't think so. I don't think so. Conviction issue election. I think so what happened was after president, which was unprecedented, the people decided they want to go ahead and ban ballot boxes. No easy. Easy, look at the ballot boxes. That's not the easy's rule. It's up to the security agencies.
And if the money 100%, and people will not have any reasons. It's because
reasons of possible. It wasn't about the issue. What has the issue? The issue is there to declare the results. Now you go for you need to declare false results. Or more kind of obey the choice by results. What has that got to do with the issue or the performance of the issue? You see, the issue is independent.
issue they say the voting process will result in collation, and if the processes are flawed, that will be his basis to say that remove the issue now. And so that could be Ghana because of electoral issues.
If the process was flawed, we couldn't afford an election where somebody will win by 1.6 million. That's what I told you, sir. The end justifies the means. What you say? If it was flawed, if the issue had a flawed system, we wouldn't afford such an outcome of the results. What you say? Apart from say, oh, you didn't. So I don't think, sir. But the issue, one example of Michael wasn't even giving examples about because ballot boxes. Was talking about indelible inks. Say BVD machines and ECC, a friend is saying all these things was challenged at IPAC and was proven said this did no wrong. I'm not here to hold before the EC because the EC has to be an independent body. But what I'm trying to say is, as Ghanaians, we want an independent EC. What I say, if we don't want an EC, we to the near sooner. Friend is saying because I'll give you an example. They're happy with your friend is saying with the former EC. So to say, what I say. There was an internal case on one own friend is saying court issues on the friends assistants accusing no also co-accusing on one assistants. That is what led to a committee being set up where there was a petition because of more accusations. Then they were found guilty and were able to be removed. That is what we need. But that's not that it's not as if somebody will be sorry and because on the open no one into a easy because on their own personal agenda. I don't think that is right. I think sir, let's follow due process. Let me say Ghana they do paper so be or say Mamraya Juma. I want an independent EC. What would them say EC corrupt? I don't want a corrupt EC because it's not going to help us. It's never too many. But I also wouldn't sit here for some people to remove the EC because they have their own agenda. That I don't think sir is right for the nation. I think if you have solid ground, sir, yes, go ahead and petition. But at the end, all parties are IPAC. All parties names are you couldn't even prove your case at IPAC. How can you come and tell you say this is a base for me to go and accuse the issue? I don't think there's any justifiable basis, to even target the issue. And even how I do or more how I do say Ghanaians my opinion easy. That's what was his statement. Showing the issue is not complex. But as until we come before some of these these issues when you just issue, I don't think there's a mini and then I'm working out some way says I'll come 120 agenda, and we can discuss that as well.
Augustine, how can you hold the presiding hostage and force him to declare results in your favor? I think this is what NDC is doing. David Ejen will say if you don't justify a thief if the economy is hard, does it allow you to steal? That's your analysis. And after the end, if you're up channel, I don't know where you're getting this from. Also, see, imagine that what will happen had the NDC lost this election. Kenny, a piece who said they all cannot say. How did you come to that conclusion? They just couldn't get the chance to rig the elections. I think or the MPP for them say we say the opposite opimomo eputiano. Nana Obi I'm saying Nana Granny here MPP Nina Obi Uru not Yezu as an anagami catch yourself party then we need the also party MPP Murray. Every people this EC boss has been the best we've had. It is only NDC that has a problem with her. Because she was appointed by Kufuor to or catch her era 50 say EC we were yen ejuma. and so Munko had more problem with it. I can't say if you are the NDC at the cause of the mayhem happening at East, or one African go Munko for team say easy yet. And I hate that see easy hasn't done anything. They should bring a new one. Still problem now or move facing now with the okay, it will still be the problem that is there. I take you the attempts your message is completely ignored. Also message back on also there, but also say also I think I've read your message. JDM, any NDC have numbers to do whatever they want in Ghana, from governance to parliament to amendment to whatever. Into the better this is the ball is in their court, so bit me changes to corona or more per se or more a year changes. Or say if you are catching 50 so read the petition thoroughly from Professor and Tana. But there's more to the story than what is okay. And I feel feature say he already has a copy of the petition. Mr. Fifi, you are saying something to the contrary. I can say without fear that you have not read the petition thoroughly. No, Fifi, in a Fifi show he has the petition in fact in front of him. In Dukas on reading he has it right in front of him. If the NDC wants to close down the judiciary now, they have the numbers, they can do that. Well, unfortunately, you can't close the judiciary. There are three main arms of government and nobody can close it down unless there's a coup and then you sidestep and now you oust the constitution. If the constitution cannot be there and then you can close the judiciary. No. Your three main arms of government, the presidency, the executive, and then call for parliament and the judiciary. You cannot. Ghana a history, Obi no bet me close judiciary because the judiciary is key. And yet judiciary now there will be no democracy without parliament and the judiciary. What I say, your boy say minority for no me and Michael. Until can't tell Mr. Asari be there put on any company and come on to your mamu 8 years and you man yeah, they are my NDC for so money or money. Why tell you say I blame Nanado, like I was NDC for no crowd or Uja woman no money no omode ba wan kasa nko for some tell no another nice so no a friend say Emmanuel usu no ke dey obi say abranti ba ko dey oba dey bi odi atem na u didi atem I won't solve any problem, which is true. Share what but don't insult anybody. Game Boy J say is the NDC who sent the petition to Akufo-Addo and any NDC they send a petition, but sometimes you busa question. Yebusa so do be a won't follow issue no cry and then our journey they will know because or NDC ni cry or your citizen of Ghana first and some or NDC. But in this case, sorry, and the so some questions no. Oh, I some more say you no go journalism school. You even understand the questions when we are asking the question. Somebody say Mr. Sorry, me MP before no, they are talking too much. It's their job to talk. It's almost co-position. They have no tool. The only tool they have is talking. Until also you can go and sing. You have a problem with it. That's the beauty of democracy. Take any they talk. And that's it. Adumako say Ghanaians must mount a huge rebellion against the outgoing parliamentarian because Honorable Babi abysmal performance of this 8th parliament in this kind of way, and Yama Kobasa no. Uskeni Kofi Jumasi professional interrogation. Uskeni, I don't know in reference to which particular issues now and whatever. But my main call almost remember most of my join and I'm also share movies because after all, I mean Ghana, you're governor, you're government this in the MPP, you're governor my Ghana citizens first and foremost. What I say, Tina Hussein Musa say if you prosecution or no prosecution, DNO, no DNO, nothing will change. It's going to be business as usual. Ibrahim Traoré ba Burkina Faso no see na dey be change the destiny. Ko 2 years ni Bibian sign o man dey woman. I agree with you to some extent because we've seen all these MPP for ba omo teaching konfo kai anything. Omo do omo bank here take corruption crowd MPP. MPP work on. We still have corruption in MPP. We still have losses. If you read the Auditor General report, if you have followed politics for a long time, you say 4 years I guess say if you wow Tema and then NDC has swept all the seats in Tema. I see in Tema Central, the NDC brought the presiding officer from Tema West to declare the results. Is this the Ghana we want? Well, they brought the presiding officer from Tema West to declare the results from where? See Tema East and Tema Central and I say hey. They are on the air and watching so that we can also see what is going on. David, they say EC sat in 2020 with an administrative fiat and disenfranchised the whole constituency, gave the chance to Peter Amewu to win the whole seat. That is the biggest seat, the biggest sin now. Friends, but Musa said Charlotte say, them Bonipa, Charlotte say, yeah, the also Mr. Janice Sasari, I say. Charlotte said there was already an internal report on one about audit more practices. Some sicker who was in Binia de ha. But wait to the other side, say what you need disenfranchise the whole constituency. That is the biggest crime, Charlotte. James and in the for 19 years, 50 cast will be petition, 50 this petition, and that would be a good grounds for the petitioner. Also, do near a free honor. Simon Konja, say good evening, lady, long time. And issues now discussing. It's good. Yeah, call 50 to be able to say, is that what is the focus on this 120-point agenda? When are we going to see that actually coming into place near? Because that's what people want to see. Expectation here high.
Absolutely, the expectation is very, very, very high. And one thing, as I say, and
then if you meaning say already, so Manchester, and then the internet, no, freezes or taking me.
Oh my God.
Or taking me, but because it keeps freezing. But anyway, yeah, because of battle your point.
Me batcho Oteminka.
Yeah, oh, me too. Got it, me too.
Thank you.
Freezing, I hate freezing, but
it looks stable here as well, but I don't know what is happening. Pachemi, a tape from Fanchemi. There's a massive expectation from the NDC, and this expectation and this mandate has been given to the NDC because of the impunity under this NPP government. Ghana for a witness here. It do be no say as a Ghana for no ya can't or not to credit change the government and credit atum. That was how they felt like. And they've gotten to the point that they think that the shackles are off. And for them to have those shackles off, they have to give the NDC the biggest mandate ever. The Bayer Mbetimiaba now Omabe ye in Yamama Ghana for and for 120 days, Yaseti Yamabe Bray. It will start from the 7th January, and I believe that be President, His Excellency, or the President-elect, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama Akano, Sapepe and Obeno. Some of us, look, your party name, now so we will keep our party in check. And I can tell Ghanaians, say, Obeba Ababe Boy Juma, say, ye mubi ye tias ye kasa, ni ye kasa chiano, pepepa, and so who say, NDA, na yanye Juma so as Ghanaians. Because I'm man, yes, Yachichiro man, Yanchichire party. Parties be bring back up and be bring so besa abebiem. You have the longest serving party on earth, the British Conservative Party. And no na party we are seeing across all democracies and all your friends and then the party achepa we are saying. Now so they are still soldiering on. You no maba. See you kotref ya eno nkyere say o party na gu. You see e bia kosuanum de na san bra na wo ye ya wanye ni yie no. Next time kona kosua de e wo ho na bra ntom yie kotref ye no. Na niema bi tosin anom fi say yanye ni yie. Ampa say wo hwe President John Dramani Mahama, the president-elect, his speeches are okay or say what I did or yes so sourcing or consulting me and or consulting on one casa who near me be a anto ye 8 years ago or na bemono to see the Nina Baba to 2 years. Siciano over 4 years to build a lasting legacy. Ghanaians have the trust and the faith in himself. He is the one who can take us to that promised land. And yes, a promised land that you say to create an enabling environment and build a Ghana for all Ghanaians, not just for the limited few be no I enjoy. Say, oh, Tasano, that's only that the 4 years next one. No, she said, to do with constitution amendment. Then you can't, your baby be a children and brabet children. na watwasa so. And that is what we're looking for as a country. And I know we will get it. Yeah, Honorable Deborah Answaka, or said this new government year, about 2025 a better government strong, a better crabeshe. And I'm hoping all of us closer to the table where the decisions are being made, we will check our government. We will keep reminding them our promise to Ghanaians and ensure we have a Ghana that is shaped up well. Me pacho,
120-day plan is a one who's very ambitious. This is 120 days bill. 120 days, very ambitious. And I know it's just a guide because I don't think both men in 120. Most of them our legal issues, acrobatics, it does not lie within the hands of the government to know. It is just a guide to help you so that you can measure your performance. But what are you taking from MPP? Come, I tell MPP for, but MPP for acrobatics, baby, okay, and I don't go appointing me says or your whole press conference, and they are appointing way for the first time we had live broadcast on TV. This is the job description of Asumesi. Even you Musano say, minister, some of those who say, and I have pentam. I'm in a hurry for development. We are there. I have true. In fact, the low voter turnout in some of the regions like Ashanti region, Greater Accra region, is because of development. Here last minute, after the Monday Ghana, of course. No man can say we say what are you taking from them so that you don't tie yourself down with that high expectation? Because expectation is there. Because they say, who's a campaign? The most like I told you, you be patch. Hey, Fifi, patch. I don't know confess can we.
okay.
Patch. I know something. Ben, I'm over patch. More also must start to crack catch Ghana for say sikeni ho. Is it a way of preparing people's mindset actually? Because there's really no money and they won't get in trouble. Moody.
If you are there back, I say, yeah, as Ghanaians, and I say, yeah, say, yeah, to sa governments, san on the politics, san on your tears, yeah, they say, sometimes, even in the established democracies, it is a brutal, you see. Dear Bena, Labour, Anka say, Omuba Beshishe. Now consecutive CSA, and I'm trying to give this. I'm citing this example from the template. Yebefa fi omo yebefa democracy fi omunche. Omo baya umbe bie books no mu say hey nyedie jai science me. So their words started changing, preparing the people's mind. Some people were angry, but at least they've been transparent. Yes, so yaka John Dramani Mahama say yes, washe boy na nia opeso ye oye nie u kasa no can be named there. O say is very ambitious. Ambition is good, but it's not over ambitious. So why? Because yenim say we have a lot of waste in the system. Ububo bebre so yes sky train, Tamamoto way, judgment debt. In sikano yet to Palugu Dam. Sikam yet to be bregu yet. It went down waste. Sika Ghana, you're wasting within government. We NDC be making sure that this waste, they're clogging all the holes.
Yeah, but if you don't know why worried, then tell me this question way because I said same way and another be can be. If I have piece of your studio, no be can be say yet Sika so comedy. Okay, ta ne bro fu tree no can say no bro fu tree yet Sika so comedy. Oba Sika here Sika no oh. And they're okay. NDC what power? Free power 2060. MPP said the same thing. They was I confirmed to court. These were all things the MPP said in 2060. I confirmed to Burkina and I will and I corruption did that. No more bossada. No more say. Or by 8 years. Opuni case cry even 8 years. They couldn't even finish prosecution of one single case. They couldn't finish it. It is a more can more yama way not to someone you better way. You better scour way. You say. You better downsize it and come anyway. Say no. And then maybe this is the time also must start to tell go Charlie. And that's even the more critical issue. You cannot employ, you cannot spend beyond this amount. It's tight. So what is government going to do? Other than starting kind of planning check over the Charlie BBN?
If you are IMF, we can renegotiate IMF. And no cry and can say BBN or there. Near your passy yaka. You could be for two sick one near woman. We will be yaka say we will be transparent with Ghanaians. So only I saw a cover oba. Now why you say also guess sika in the womb or no face $1 million because of one Canada man. But to be on some say naturally say 100 ne woman, all of these budgets around 100. And that is the type of government we are going to have. After the transition, we are going to be transparent with them. For 20 years, them. It has to be reviewed like the free SHS. From God knows how many years, say it has to be reviewed because I saw a lot of Ghana Sika. Send your maybe I bet me a review. Now a be a savings or waste. Sky be about recover because can the recovery ones and other institutions waste we have to make sure we keep the waste. Yes, we will have a very limited fiscal space to work with, very, very limited. But if we are saying it's not about how much you earn, it's how you manage it. So we are going to cut our coat according to our sizes and then manage the physical space that we have, what we have within. And then the good thing about governance is, so to me managing the year, you leverage on that. And Obronica's baby said leverage that. Now, I mean, show because I know it's a P show. I said, Yatu ya boy hasuye, yes, I be jina and also. And I say, springboard biama and yet me the in Yamapa, assign, and as I say Yamapa, assign ama or minor. And this is what we will do as an NDC party and as a government. We are not going to leave Ghanaians behind. We are going to carry Ghanaians along. And this is a promise from John Dramani Mahama. So this will be done. Near Sikanibet Miaye Biano, Yabema Ghana for to be part of it. At least Nyamunya Yenye, Sumodia Juma. Yeah, that's it. Please unmute yourself.
It's very good, said the whole cassette. It's very good. Some of money and more than what they Ghana for because once they know, certainly, I think saying a mobetoye, saying I cannot. It's easy for people to understand, even when the expectation is high, to carry them along. Say, I think that was a mistake MPP for you. Do baby now for mom say, almost say cash crab, but now for mom person be can't Ghana for you. Beginning on to Sanka don't pay. I think a crash starting say, but now for almost started this year and where's the means you know? Then they started disconnecting themselves from the people. Now, of course, when you have been said, I don't know, and I'm going what's not so late, the general perception that started growing there. But Mr. Janice, I'm going to quick one on this issue because I want to know, you're sure I'm hammer in. More people first start to position, and then I'll be a man, and then I have to see my hammer so they I don't know when you have a chairman. The guy has not even
also been because because he was speaking on both sides of his tongue. Okay, I say, oh, you need sky womb by a buy say, and I buy him the baby. I say, oh, creative space job and don't say you buy it to me, and now you know the offer to him, Jabani when I catch a Ghana for. You see, anytime you say, Metihano, I'm going to Casimitra say, my expectations from Mahama, mine, because money, but I have the hopes MP is going to come to power because a candidate, Baumia, or Ghana for bar. The current situation where we are in, I said about register, trying to put a credit score to raise money. Said about Niama, I'm a Ghana for whom, and that's what kind of Ghana for try to ho. What I say? I remember that there were issues, but we have infrastructure, we have roads, this election is not about infrastructure, it's about the economy. Ghana for my because I'm saying which is a worldwide issue. So, but if you fear, I know my country not British scramble, or come my money, and I'm buying. So, I'm singing a lot of excuses. So, excuses never knew, sir. 4 years' time, Ghanaians workers say, hey, Baumia you see, any Masaya, you bet you not anyway. Now, never should want me one. Let's say, NDC, my performing. But I think, sir, they really didn't assess the situation, and they've come up with so many issues. So I can say, or say, oh, your friend is saying, no, overconfident. You see, there's a lot of things in governance. Okay, I say, someone 20 days say, try E-levy. Wait, everybody wants that. But how are you going to be able to do that if you don't expand your tax base? And Dr. Bameka said, and with a credit scoring system, will be able to, then he can be able to spread the tax base to everybody. The tax now will
do it. The credit scoring system.
So I'm hoping said they're going to learn. Others say no, I'm best from the AA. But I say, oh, and they need for 20 and they're about to see you don't even have a plan. And then say, okay, not mainstream. What I say. And that is why I'm cautioning Ghanaians. Say, nobody wishes bad for Ghana. The person mind the question. At least me, they mind this about and should I have my brain say that me be to Kwema, it's going to help Ghana in the long term. But say we have our address system, now we have an identification system. Could be these are the basic things that you need to develop. Yeah, as NDC for person no move to Aswa. Then we are going to improve as a nation. They're not going to shame in crying. Well, even though we've lost it, they shame in crying. Say we've put something good for the future of Ghanaians. What I say, but better if you didn't say the woman or might be able to
they just want to be open and truthful to the people.
So is he saying the campaign promises were lies? Or the speculations? How do you make these promises? That means they are speculations.
And your projections. And your speculations.
Exactly. So let's call it a speculation. You don't have the facts. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
That is based in vacuum. So and they also have a valid minority in parliament. So they have an idea based on what.
But still, what he's saying is still no, whatever that he said wasn't based on the fact. Because on him the womb.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the entirety of the fact. Yes.
Exactly. That's what I want him to admit. And because that is the caution. Because anyone wants to say, hey, Michelle Boy, but my mama is so. Because I can put okay, bio. Okay, I say, or no, Nanko, president, and come with Benji and Obey then. So Muhammad's own words. And another mama is sure Magana for say, Mama Beba, now for the same, hey, I dear we say, Mihuyanka, and Penny Adam is sure. But I wish him well as a president, because he's a president for Ghanaians. What I say, I wish him well, so Beba, Nagana, it's my friend to my perfra. But I'm very, very concerned, say, the expectations not the Ghanaians. They might not be because you need certain things to be able to move on. Or any year, better opportunity. MPP will be a responsible.
The space to have 1 year.
Oh, of course. What would even help? As a party say, would even I would say so. Would even have people out there to say that your shadow finance minister to guide them on some of the things that they are doing. Because I'm sure about Ghanaians. Ghanaians want to share responsible opposition. Any opposition who did the attempt. Any opposition. Who put their feet to the fire because Ghanaians have to see the difference. What I say?
Normally, I don't interject, but the mom is serious. So, say, finance minister to help us.
Me say as an example, no, even the finance minister, we can even have a finance minister. So, okay, we can also give our opinion. It's going to be simultaneous to all their ministries. What I say to help them, because you're going to be a responsible opposition. What I say, let's say opposition, we're going to sabotage government. Doesn't help anybody. But if it's a responsible position, no, Ghanaians will say, hey, that agree when all Ghana for him, and the man Ghana for us in the next 4 years. And then go to our side and say, yeah, for MPP, some power, and I say, yeah, maintain the NDC. That is where the difference is going to be clear.
Opposition,
oh yeah, a positive showdown, So, yeah, because Munyan say, Munyan say, so be the guy for say, oh, MPP say, before I say, the year, you can say, in Ghana for friend to my friend, for MPP formula. That is what we are going to do. We are not going to come and sabotage them saying some more than a year. Oh no, we are not going to do that. That's not a responsible position.
Describing it is exactly sabotage.
Sabotage didn't say. No, what's now say, and then sabotage. But you about say, I dear Muye say, and never gonna find them so, and it's for some to say, but yet, I see Muye say, and we'll show that this is the right way to do. No, such a baby. It's your mind about cost. And in 4 years' time, we'll say, and this people for more position, almost since now minor cost, and that's what's going to bring us back into power. But I said, so we are not going to sabotage the nation. Sabotage the Ghana. I'm going to Ghana cost. but we'll show them a responsible opposition so that in 4 years time they can have a credible difference. Say, hey, opposition we saw where they fell short. We've seen them in opposition. Therefore, almost have no power. That is how Ghana will make that decision in 4 years time.
Okay.
In the 50, they all can there, but we struck a crowd. What be some a different agenda for what you are saying? Because so anytime last
we're super confident. We're going to deliver. We have far more better policies than you. Your credit scoring does not put money on the table. Credit scoring, if you set up a credit score, Nase in Jumaniwa, who is going to even credit score you, and where will you? Because you earning is part of your credit scoring. You're not earning anything. So how do you even credit score you to start with? So I don't know where these ideas came from within the NPP. And then they spoke about single tax. I don't want to go back to their policies, but they had one of the most shambolic policies that I've never seen as a government. And I'm surprised, Jenna still said they were better policies. We came out with a 24-hour policy, making sure we use our green gold, the agriculture and the agro processing to turn the country around. And that is what we have. Would couple up with a $10 billion US big push. These are the things that is going to happen and change the face of our economy. So you will see, we will prove it to Ghanaians because Ghanaians have given us the mandate that we can do it, and we will do it.
If you heard him say NDC for credit scoring, they always get it wrong. And I'm surprised if Fifi is getting it wrong. Because Fifi, I believe, she understands credit scoring, but he lives in the system. Fifi, when him say, my example, when him say we have secure credit. Out to the wow seeker and put bank credit. You know there's something like that.
But then the usual thing.
I'm trying to show him. I'm making statement it was wrong. So you need a job to be able to build your credit. That was a wrong statement. So let me prove him wrong first. No, Fifi, my interject. Let me share the facts. I didn't you would agree with me, sir. There's something called secure credit, and you can even book it without even having a job. So that statement was even wrong. Okay, and let me also tell you that statement you said that was wrong. Sir, how does credit scoring build? Your friend is saying the economy. Okay, I'm review free teachers. What is the basis of that? So be say, well, if you want to file a tax, me I will say, okay, we win 100,000 this year. Into be I will that's your which 10,000. Me I major so 5,000 the whole year. Then you get a basis to make those decision making. Without people find that, how do you even have that basis? What I say, if I have NPP, NDC guys talking about these things, it's just they just don't understand these policies, and that is my fear for Ghana. So when I want to they're going to run us into a ditch. But I'm on
I see the sweetness of the pudul is in the eating.
I didn't have 24 years, no, Ghana's people don't see the difference because we are going to keep them on their toes.
And you brought for now before Mukano, and you know delivering. I'm the mind. Maybe maybe they can execute. Let's wait for them to execute.
We'll support them.
Delivery. Yep, until let's wait. Maybe I won't deliver. They will see. They are 4 years. My problem is that I must start your position in terms of. Moon budget mom, they have 4 years.
Oh, honeymoon, you're moving here. I'm president. The honeymoon. Why president that? But the honeymoon here. Why president? What did you honeymoon for? But I said, this should have been the tell us how the people can or something on the and why so that should be enough honeymoon for you. Come and hit the ground running. There is no room for excuses. Branabaya Jumano. MPP as a responsible opposition will guide you to move Ghana to a better agenda. And open our here. If you brother by Ghana Ghana phone said the fair 2 way from you. And then we are
you now as if any final thoughts, I might call it and bring no so join it. Thank you so much. MPP chair. I should have asked him this question about losing, you know. MPP hasn't recovered from the loss, but okay, another time.
No, they haven't recovered yet, so there's still rush of blood into the brain slightly with them. But they are allowed. Yes, they are allowed. Nyamdibeja ye nuanom MPP for the Ghana food nyane say. Sometimes MPP talk big, but when they talk big about Ghana, because Ghana na your war. Ghana, third world country. We are not a developed economy. To the point, say, you will come out with bold solutions, say, secure credit. And therefore, when I bring a credit system, this will help Ghana. It will help individuals. Ghana, majority, live below poverty line. In Jomo confess the kind of cry we're handing there, bank for secure credit to build our credit system. It's a non-starter argument. And they looked at the single task now no more can want some no. Our policies we na Ghana, we are nowhere near Estonia. Any idea who got to Estonia? Omukasi na to say a population to say Kumasi. Me the example. Prisons now saying now they were renting their prisons to the Western developed countries because that is how scanty that the population is. You cannot go and pick Estonia tax system and bring it to Ghana. It's not workable. Ghana that one see a case on policies NDC has the better policy. Ye here be because ye here say we will live within our limit. Not your natural resources, agriculture, gold, and other minerals. Ye be managing ye near best ye near these social interventions be atotutu akwemu ye. Not Ghana afan into my efra. Now, once we leverage and build on that, the other big things will also come. I coming of a scripture of Osidane. There's a famous scripture in which I love so much. Also seek ye the kingdom of God first, and all other things shall be added unto you.
And Matthew 6:33.
Thank you. That is a similar thing that Ghana is looking for. Let's seek ye the foundations. Let's set that foundations right. Let's make sure our roads are good. We are not talking about building quantity, but quality. Last 40, 50 years. And in kakra, let's make sure our traffic lights are working. Let's make sure individuals, our education system is working right. Let's make sure our agriculture and agro-processing, our export is working right. And then we are reducing the waste and corruption is kept down. Once we are able to do this, if you are fire your portmanteau, near San Kobac say, your quackotry, your crunum, near Shishay, near May, intimidasi. With that, a tearful dance.
You, if you dance, say no, a better to come at least for the next 4 years. And himself, we will all together. I mean, 9 hours can money 9 months, so all together. The same pressure. I need my MPP phone will give the same pressure to NDC, but at least for the first year of 2025, they ain't not as I say a honeymoon period. The pressure not very, very subtle, so the NDC can get a chance to settle in, understand what they are dealing with, understand the numbers they have, appoint all the ministers, the regional ministers, the DCs, they settle into government properly before if your questions be on my YouTube. But I wish you well with the prosecution because in Ghana court system, you see the wheels of justice grind slowly. That is why I mean, person said you money baby because when you do court also a different ball game altogether. And the MPP new case 8 years they couldn't do focus. The case is still hanging. Why now raising for expectation? You bet you, but we do go because it's evidence way. But and dismiss and LGBT case, you want the court and the case has been thrown out.
Dismissed.
It's been thrown out. So indeed, I'm out to Fifi. That's a baby. That's a
Thank you.
That's a Fifi. Fifi Asante Amperi, Deputy Director of Communication, my NDC or UK, and I'll be joining. So bet me join. Use the link. Join us. Share your views. If you are say. Share views, we'll read all the comments for you. Nana, I'm good evening, Akwaba.
Sister Pia, Michia, good evening.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, my Michia Ghana phone, na Michia, me am a cross for Numa Pepem for, and Sihum phone, Yenson of my Michia. Sister Pia, I
am electoral commission.
Oh, we are no master crowd. I don't know. I'm trying to say. Electoral Commission office here, or my Say be aban beko MPP say ni wo tete aban mu 8 years and ye opposition so answer na NDC be say fi aban mu nti no sa am ko hwe on de me ka say omo ya de ana me boa omo agu anim ase I think say ye hia sa de no wo ye man mu na enya de
and I just want to point you back. I'm time next idea. It was sad to see. I just want to pass how you will never hear in the news about bad things. Yeah,
yeah, so na ye kwan ye any resources.
Yeah, no, easy.
Oh, here a high and near penny near my papa by a constitution. Kakra na ba siesu ama e say ye fan develop on your sign no. Hey, Sabio, I want to promo. Media de bia me kamo na moto. I want chande ba mo na beka mu yie pa. Ye so ye mamu nyina. Nti mo mai abo tedi hu se Ghana mine yesum. Sabio mama ban on fa sika me show butom. Me gidi say 8 years wa ya waju papa waju ani bidi. Nti uye bibia na wanya abotre abanye ho abanye aba egu aba na aba ko won se sabi o mine ye chichire enye sabi mama ochina obebu ni mine no ko obeja o mine na mine nti se yes na mama no ho nchire no.
And I was sad because even candidates, he's not like that at all.
NDC candidate obi asabi no I like him so much.
I know, yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't believe NDC candidate will even approve this. Because
he will never, there is no way he will approve it. Never. He will never approve this.
We don't if you are a member communicator and NDC for communicator now, I didn't feel London by member Nabaso. I think, sir, I've really enjoyed on Jenny's conversation. And this is the level-headed people are sometimes, I believe, sir, the political parties need to project because mine yesterday. And I like the way he delivers, and I like the way he's putting or articulating the issues. Okachire say, "Sabi democracy near Ghana, we condemn everything. You're too negative about everything." Okachire Fidyu say, "We are building a democracy. With time, we'll evolve, we'll fix, we'll get better, and that is how you build a country." And see that Robako, it doesn't happen. In I told the Bianya and Wabutre, from Sony, not just say, "Oh, mine Sabi, Adania Buchi." But with time, fix it. And I think, sir, so far, some kind now, I agree with him. Jenny's also, Madonna, and then some kind. Sister, if you are all around it, Sabi, some are catching some mind to true. Sabi, NDC, all right, you saw me, and that home mom won't or to know if you are by my all right, and with NDC, right?
In fact, I have the video right here, but yeah, gold no. The police have seized it and they've taken it back to Bank of Ghana.
Exactly.
As a government of Ghana property, yeah.
Yeah, all around it, at the home buying your baby, no continuation. I remember, Sabi MPP campaign, my say catch a Ghana for say a campaign in the day. Uncle Fabertina Bemo Moku Banshika. We never gave that promise. Entire campaign promise. In this will be Sabi, Akofa Banshika, Akofa Baja Padina, and your fine person and Yamra Point. So now a buy not teaching or ban or a Ghana buy. Almost NDC for now, or where we need but it's the government of Ghana that is continuing. Into mo betwa amambo so na se nipa na eboni eti o man na ene de say aban si aban bi anu obetena mo bi adi asemboni eti o man na ma na hwe ne so nko ene e we yesa na aban no wa ma meboan nti no obi bia wa eboni wo evidence wo evidence no orafo no nyame adom ya titim no sebe papa Kofi Boache onye obi a onye nipa basabasa o obi onim mmra pa wasa ko school or a lawyer or a police nipa hina obia sabe wo so time papa no kra woni se papa no or do ne ma wa be adwuma kese amagana indi so committee bi so sa me yes obe akogu nanim ase ama the record that we build wo Ghana ne enuonyama wanya no obe ba fa obi wo kwesi so retirement mpo obi political 4 years pe no odo ba be gu nanim ase abaye ne me won fata wunya indi no yenya abotre na yen trust yomo na se na okujota block answer kind no say they will not come and victimize anybody. They will come and pursue people who have done. And then I don't think anybody will disagree with that. We all support it because sabi yeah before yeah the result go only born now see what the born now can and they always say the evidence will show it's up to you. But sabi Matisse former MPP say oni microphone what the born now or the evidence about committee. The master of say baby obiano gather evidence ten na enumenu ya na esi anu committee naba oral committee naba na on pass evidence nu kwa den enkomo mo enye dede bebre kasa no de ya kasa from independence abepemene ya ka sisi anu ye pe action intino You better say baby obiano on for evidence no come on. The MPP for crown ye pe. See who nipa boni ye for na no more MPP party no. Me gidi say all round be boy ama omo timi a kire sankofo no. Na yenso no food soldiers na ye hwe sankofo no. Yenso ye huom. Inti no sister fia e asempa e magana e na meka no. Aban be ko all round de enya nko yo. Ye be ya Rollins e be ye kalabuli abetwa mu ko. Achampo ebe ye ne de abetwa bu ko. Kofo be ye ne de abetwa bu ko. Or the akufo da be ne de special prosecutor ni nyina aba. Nso still nkrofo da so say nkrofo boy kro no. Inti sa de ne ye e bia all round might be the last solution. Who knows? Nyame wo ye nyina yes me e be hu di o. This afia me da say
Nana ya da si bebe so no feedback ade am. What about good evening?
Good evening, this is Evia.
Yentio.
Yeah, in common the end there I come but the American say more be anye ora no as a witch hunting committee be normal set up. Yeah, bipartisan or nation or patriotic group here or more recover state assets and crophobia looting. This is Obi to us, oh, it's witch hunting there. It's not right. Because up to now, you knew what will constitute a witch hunt. And this who are this kind of abechiwa, mo bian kotena baby say they are witch hunting somebody. They should allow the work to the law to take its own course. Now, they could do court na nipane any guilty. They are man scot free. So you're guilty, so yeah, GSK. So Uncle Moti was a witch hunting. They should stop it. We should all keep mute, allow the law to take its own course. Once the person is found guilty, the person is guilty.
Now, support I for holding tina Uncle Fire worried and say, Omunya or for no. Yami mononi adomon can or for no. So any Uncle Fire worried say, and your way chanting, why would they go there? Or for Nakataka say. Said the Fifi and Perica investigation and prosecution.
I don't know who sanctioned them, but it could be that there are also people that will be giving information to these oral people. Maybe they are working under the oral. We don't know. Because the oral, there are only 5 people. But look, and they can't be everywhere too. So maybe they are working for the oral. We don't know. As at this time, we don't know what the powers of this oral committee. We don't know. Powers, they are more. I don't think they have any powers yet. They have not done it yet. So we don't know the powers. Until say you hand over the power, then we know the powers that will be conferred on them. Now, there are limitations and more boundaries. Nina, we'll see it. And
did you agree, say MPP for opposition too early when they have not even been sworn into office?
MPP for why then?
My NDC too much opposition, even like in its early days yet.
Yeah, I think it's early days yet. That pressure no person mutoma Mahama there. I think it's one of the Lusu election. They are still in pain. So that's some of the talk. Say okay, also it's a sign of failure. You are just declaring yourself that you are failed. So you are just declaring yourself that you failed. You actually failed. That's why you are saying something like that. And I may come about a issue no so no. I say me sana me hunu ye because she's very incompetent. The reason why me say is very two. South for now one two abano is one. And the second one is 2020 now one called witness box no more. One accounted to Ghanaians how she conducted the election.
And there's a court no ruled. The court said that they could not justify the procedural basis to bring her into the box.
Yeah, court in the ruling Ghana for no.
What Supreme Court Casa, do you know what it means?
No, Supreme Court.
Unfortunately, what God, that's where you get it wrong.
No.
America Supreme Court, it's a Ghana Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court speaks, it becomes law. No. It's binding on all lower courts.
Okay,
what it means, binding. It's binding. Everybody is guided accordingly.
Since if you have a future electoral commissioner, but no also committee the same thing, the no share box, no judges, a case or no the original witness box, no ma, send a judges. No.
Into court process, and this is how it is. Supreme Court casa until another Supreme Court panel reverses that decision. The Omakana states that is the law.
Yes.
You say the America who's the first one say abortion. A right. America Supreme Court the catches abortion is not a fundamental human right as contemplated by the founders or those who wrote the American Constitution. That is the locus now. That is the standard. It's binding on all states. This is a state because on one the law. What I say? Into Ghana Supreme Court to city. No, this is another Supreme Court change because see, he's the one or the pen or something boxing. There was a ruling by the court.
No, she should have voluntarily entered witness box.
No.
Yes. No. Yehuni said the Supreme Court judges were protecting her. They were shielding her from.
That is only opinion. And that is only opinion.
Yes, that's my opinion. I don't think I'm saying that's my opinion.
And opinion cannot be the basis for the removal of another person. Because no, opinion, any ruling.
She failed to account to Ghanaians. That's how Mimi Hunu. That's how I see it. She failed to account to Ghanaians in a critical election. Box, like I said, this is how I conducted the election. What was she afraid of?
There be nothing more to say. You have not satisfied that until the EC is not obliged to get into the box.
The EC or your public office, Rebecca say, yeah, these people, this is what you are saying, but still now I'm voluntarily offering myself to account to Ghanaians.
Okay. And she can voluntarily offer herself not to because
world
boss. Are you aware that even Parliament can bring the EC to answer? There are several locations after the court decision. They have brought the EC budget. Parliament approve it, and they always scrutinize the EC.
Parliament bet me the privileges committee or normal bisana no, but time na here answers no. But no be no money punishing for that incompetence. Now when to man could Gina box no counted to Ghanaians no, she needs to be punished.
Okay, well, if it's a language now we using quite a thing because if you want justice, it's not about punishing the person. You see, it's not about punishing the person. Where your procedural issues now be so crazy. Now your procedural issues are punishment in count. Because constitutional issues now are punishment in front. Criminal law and a punishment boom. So if a procedural issue that has to do with constitutionality or otherwise of the EC decision and Abibisa, go according you the emotions if you go. Over some punishment of the fatal change. But go according to the procedures and according.
Still now, forget it. Still now, she deserves a form of punishment.
Okay, and I wish you well in that punishment.
And me last 2 points. I said, MPP for no, so I said the name issue no. A political gimmicks, prior to the general election 2024 in December 2020. They were creating, Mimi Huni said they were creating an impression to the public, said they are fighting or they have fought corruption. Sana Mimi Huni, because how can you allow somebody to go and stay in the US? Now one manage Janefi Krono maybe. Now what really when to man trigger any Interpol EBA say, okay, I see me we default. And Ghana no, as a country no, is looking for her to come and serve her jail term. Akufo-Addo and Timan trigger BBS into Mahama na after the MPP 4 no per se omunko extradite no back to Ghana number 70 term. Akufo-Addo is still in power. On trigger that procedures no. Answer with fee power. And the MPP 4 no munja di omuka no who na who service sentence no and a jail term no or whatever. Follow the due process and extradite the woman back to Ghana. Answer ube fee power, no with fee power. Don't leave that burden on somebody else. Because because what triggers it here, it will be in the Interpol system. If any government be obeba power be no, so on to me young hoshi.
It is what was and another trigger against it. Take over 7 January more than ever.
Also obeba so much trigger say America for no betchino. No more
I think she's rather in Canada.
Canada. So omuchin wa Canada wa omaba dropping wa kotoka. Now from there no na Ghana for no aso no. Then and one no.
Okay.
So they could do it. When your idea is so difficult, be a moon to me.
And you're happy up, mommy, now for an idea in room.
And you know, me point on no me that.
You mean that the word boss?
Red boss.
What boss? And now of an idea to cry more fans or more fans.
Mavia.
Of an idea, good evening.
As you drink out.
As you drink out.
Yeah, my yen na ya ho fin sia pa so. Na die di kan.
Yeah, now why you know when you new haircut why fresh boy? Yeah, why fresh boy?
Die di kan me de nchia kese pa. Any asida pa be ma me kromfo. The whole Ghana, but we are to about from PMMC up to now. Incumbent no or one run your assembly or PPPR copy time nyame adoma on returning back to the new government. To a man for a toilet hono brekum the debi or 1 year sa
or brekum 1 year town. Oh, that's nice.
Debbie 100%, because we are brothers, sisters. Me NDC almost chairman, me and sister over. Until me want to make one. What do you get from? You don't get nothing from. Okay. Until no and yen talk because Bible so soon ni wa ye who sense on fast. Yes say NDC for baby. Until almost omu meyebi na yen twas one. Na die di kan no me de aseda kese pa be ma Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia se ade na ekono no ahu se wadi nkuguo no opaja ne nsa se oh menua no ntokwa na amo ne me ekono ma di nkuguo ma di atu nti problem bi ani ho na word boss wo sister fia unse da bi obeka sim bi nya akwara na medwene sa adwene no se na hwan ne wu nyankopon ma me ne hwan because ono ni motions na all the kasa no wo ye den ye nyi sei NDC won say Supreme Court maje ruling na eti omo a omo nji ntomo na omo start to talk about motions but you forget say omo the NDC MPP court a omo really tie MPP no and the omo Supreme Court wa ya de but so omo ye bi na Supreme Court ruling tie omo pe omo say no se nka wo ye bi say no omo yire free say na no bi si ye mo Supreme Court katia obi o but wo de aba na ye kan so si bi ni say America sa abortion ayi na wo kan na no do omo ye new laws omo say kura na ba wo nyem na both of mom papa and mama nyina mo gitun se mo koya abortion ye nko bi sa akwala no ma if you want to akwala na da wo yem no ye nko bi sa no sa akwala gitun se on tenasia ansa na wona wa de fa nti sa question wo be tai ai word boss be say debi nti ye da ye nyina ye ho ase na nkugo de ye ti so so ne ma na hwie agu.
They don't always match on Mahama hold the first on one can do, but what is your expectation?
Oh, mafia Mahama won nensem na what ba ye no na ye value se mu nyedu but muadu because number 1 me and some more come me yen see me number 1 also beka betting taxing ubeka your friends saying 11 taxing na mebo mafia wo sa be 24-hour economy sa niema me ense wo ya wo kan yi Ghana fo atwen wo se me kura me na nado a nka betting tax metwa man sana mako ani levy ka betwam because so betwam nti ka medicare yi sa bed ne kura firi ho ansana wa ba mafia pato said you cannot see asiya pa yemma politics ye hu say ade wo ye sister fie de asi wo yi eye ebebo ye nyina enye se mi be petu mi ni
enya na na do policy to twem e be say ya zan no pese oye na Muhammad emom to no aba no
oh na se mafia say radio ya wo ti so awo ka sei na me say mafia kwan ofa so ka sei enye enam se mi be pe ho atena yo asem kura wo kan the same thing na me be kan buku ya wo kan the same thing na me be kan na so okay nana ene me ko ma se books na firi ho de wo se ye fabra na bra be kan a mfom so be na waye eye se ye politician ye ba ye nyina ye hu se ade we ye na mmom we ye na mmom me ma ti se na na do krato ayifo nursing training and hwan allowance or the 1,000
national service
na nti wa wo de bisa na poka asem bi o si ebeye se be kere na won sa beka danse kura
yo overnight for anu si
de meka kere Ghana fo nyina nse ye de mo ase na no me wo ha na mo fa se bi frame ofa bro nye nam si na obanka se moto abo wo se ayo nam se na hwan ya so se ya tu nam se okay se 24-hour economy o na se so be ya 24 hour na me ya ye tie de se akobe se edu season bi kro mutinyi ye nyina different adwuma no bo adwuma 24 hour me ko kan yo miri yaku
yo overnight yeah na say me can know you think why a fresh boy and tete baby brother so good evening.
Good evening, sister.
Adomo also
Nyame Adom.
Good.
As soon as a person me can say, as a Ghana no, yeah, minim the way ya re-engineer your mind. As a debiano, ubia hwese ni nua be faili. As we have that kind of mindset, say if you only be a juma, you look at that person in the corner of your eye, say, or co-party bia, or he so bet slip on over nya kwan I ridicule na what's in as oh share so call that's the mindset that we have, and it's not going to help us all. I say me, I thank God say generation na say they don't follow those conservatives as a many papa ma me MPP ni me NDC me NDC ni na I hope you bet me aboa Ghana and develop, because if we come we keep on with this mindset so NDC clear background muntimi nyahwe na mahema eba untimi nchi obia untimi prosecute corrupt people just say me who the mindset, and I just thank God say the generation eba no yenya access to internet and social media it me read a lot, because if we don't re-engineer our thinking and your mindset Ghana na ebe say sa na at the end of the day in develop. Oh, they say no MPP is like the guys that they've lost the elections, they are waiting till Mahama will slip, and they say, oh, when Tinya your castle, which is not good. At the end of the day, the main aim of Yen Kasa Edidinya is a Ghana be developed. Now a comfortable place to live. That's it. Because the way Ghana, you're blessed with gold, oil, natural resources, not even one aircraft, one carrier, we don't have just a plane actual Ghana which we don't have it. But it seems that always we've turned like a crab, your crab mentality. You won't say nipa ba ko fro bucket na wason na no atwena tom. We fro no wason no atwena, which is a very bad and negative mindset, which is not good. Oh, and I think say you need a re-engineer our mindset. NDC omoban ebe ya me nyina. Ma ba no more maybe scanner. And no my embezzle scanner, it me a prosecutor, it goes to the best of the country. But all China is you are looking at them and setting them up for them to fail. It's bad. Because if you have fertilizer or be a media could go uncompleted building more. Abra farmers in here fertilizer, they have fertilizer oil, soil. Yeah, they are but they are bueno. People don't think about it. By any hint, keke say, oh, the party are winning. Yeah, so partisan than being nationalistic, which is bad, and it's not good for our society. Because when natural resources are open, case a Ghana, yakwe and imbibre, ki mindset is a brofo. Oh, you're wrong. It doesn't matter. So what side A and our side B, ni na bumiaka. Oh, yeah, papa ni abo. So if we told that papa,
but that's so does it mean that when there are genuine concern that people are raising, for instance, I make say 2016, you will be almost a cast, a bronyamo, you this kind of for a confirm no prosecution. If people are raising genuine concerns, more can be more to me and yet. Okay, I'm also proud and one is on chicken for when to me and yet. No, because I also say are these not legitimate concerns?
One say, I can't say, Steph, here, we know these people, politicians, no man at you. And some are classmates, some are classmates. We media worker or Adomo OKFM. A bit by no state. I say NDC for air by a bit more no state, we know more financial status. Until within 6 months, and the person is living a lifestyle. Why I won't say lifestyle live. It doesn't correspond with the Jumoya. You raise question marks. Until sometimes there are genuine concerns about we are say hypocrites. Me say Oma tip off no. They are living with these same people. You get it? Me bima na omunyamba bemuna they can not even afford a bicycle. But right now they have cars parked at their homes. And it's so obvious that sometimes they behave hypocritical. So ebi an edwuma bi o baby o can't say. But we need to be bold enough.
That's just a hypocrite. A court assembly and they can't national suspicion. So I said, what no? Yeah, best young more approach for the lawyer. Approach law and it's will prove you charge you of criminal offense and you must prove beyond reasonable doubt. It's court to accept the suspicion say who say can you know now to me Toyo Kagari and then you to me to Makasi. It's not enough to take somebody to someone. You must have evidence. Where is the evidence?
Mr. Efia, I know the evidence will come out, but the problem that we have in our country is our court systems, our proceedings. It takes a very long time. You see the length of time. I'll commend J. Kufuor for what he did with Fast Track High Court. It's better we set up a specialized court dealing with corruption, and we expedite proceedings, and we expedite, court jurisdictions. You understand? Kufuor who said this same thing will happen, or setting up specialized courts into now the legal gymnastics and now the legal kind of technicalities by the delay court procedures, the buy timer. It won't work. Into me, I'm hoping that Mahama will be smart enough to set up specialized courts dealing with corruption. Into specialized court or no, Udiagra Sunday Grovetna cases. So for Monday, Ubit play with gymnastics. You will sit. They said enough fast track. I remember, saying at that time when a reporter, that fast track, no one a DJ Lee, what you got Chatuchi Katamo. You get it? If Mahama will want to make something, he needs to have a specialized court for corruption. Just like fast track high court at Kufuor. And then Amman for people say, yes, he's doing something because the corruption, look, is there, is right in our faces. But sometimes Ghana no is show nipa nimka. Nipa no nims all your corruption, but also evidence because she paper. But there are so many evidence that is showing that nipa be A, B, C, D. But courts, lawyers now will play this legal gymnastics, and the case will be there for 8 years, and government will change. At the end of the day, not Ghana and suffer. Into me, going for that, I know that Joe Mahama will be smart enough to set up a specialized court to deal with corruption. Into case yet, that's why within 3 months, we'll get all the evidences.
I support you on that call. I support you on that call.
You remember Jay Kufuor did, even on Sunday, they sat on cases. I think that would be the best thing. Then say, go to this normal quarter, will be the assembly. It can take even 5-6 years, and the matter will still be in court.
I absolutely support you on that call. I think even after Kufuor, the next chief justice that came, maybe we say Georgina Wood, another one. I think Georgina Wood, the land court. They say our land court. First, like me and Papa case over 20 years now. Court. I mean,
well, look at this.
It's silly. More land court, your commercial court. They say divorce court.
Yes.
So divorce cases in Kwani. I agree with you. So we should set up a court of corruption. Not case any technicality because technicality is there. Lawyer no GDC. into obey.
They know that Nipakone Ries Cano, but it's can be no lawyer for no BGD.
There be and yet on himself. No, I may not know because only everybody there's presumption of innocence. What I say? America or UK or Ghana, there's presumption of innocence for everybody. Into lawyer no because the law assumes everybody is innocent until proving otherwise. And the another Jumani say the first priority is to the client.
Yeah.
That's the duty of the lawyer. They need to be defend the client. And however, so be delay a case and about to no bring your time. That is their job. That's what is paid for.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's Ghana that suffers. And it's bad for us because you know his car go down the drain. You could have done something for Ghana. Did that hospital form. Now Obebe is being treated in a humane way, not that form. Show leaky. Just there are a basic thing that we could have provided, no. But our money is just be luxurious. No be buying wakoto cars basics, ne goofy, we see that bear 10, ne go who the other, but now people are suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, as a Ghana, you change your mindset, near doing it that way, near enjoy partisans, party as a party na the team to do. We should think about Ghana. If you that's my problem. Like, yeah. We should think about Ghana.
I absolutely agree with you, especially on the court. Now said they should set up a corruption court. That will really help to fast track the case. Then now Santiago say, if you can stop defending those criminals, you will get the evidence you want when we send them to court. Oh, I bring your coins. People like this on my bone. You never want to learn. I'm telling you what the law says. Law, before cry a generation, baby, I say, criminal procedure rules am I dada. Or America, the same thing away UK. I say everybody is presumed innocent until you are proven so in a court of competent jurisdiction. What bone? Sometimes you people frustrate us. You can't just gather people and take them to court. And a court, in fact, oh, bravo, good evening. So you can't slap labels on people like that.
Exactly.
When the law presumes so be we are innocent until so be the evidence it out. Sounds no nipa no to on sa obi a lawyer need the so be defending a client. That's why client have to until you want to prosecute clients. That's not your job. Prosecute and you want to be prosecute client, you know. Also, so lawyer no the so defense or your defense counsel no who defend your clients. Into money how I understand. Yeah, Obek almost who defend it. I asked someone to brava.
Ibe kakaka Stefia. Make me mawaju na machia. Etifo nyina. Since you lose your elections ni mintimi ma me baby ya na
edu. No kram mabusa nya na usu tiam profoka.
Stefia, I
want discarded your own.
Stefia, I was shocked. Me on said the be me kase Ghana for said the Kennedy kan say Ghanaians are born bad. Trust me. Messi Ghana ni kase ne ho ache no boa. Ghana ni kase white oboa. Yeso enipa leadership ni enya no. Yenye ni papa. Onso bi e ba o ye be chi omo yenchi omo Stefia. They will run circles ABC DT na. The same people na ye kochi omo a ebu ana ne papa na ye kochi no oh witch hunting. Abani ba susu they know say as sese okan no ye no man na tifi ye no man na kwasori okwasori okoyiska. The pastor knows say ejuma be na wo ye as a member of parliament a wutimenya say skase so ye ba for there ye the official letter bekwa kokuma no ye betu catechist and say so penny no the letter ko invite him to oba no ono so go diske ba ti contract na ye mfanye wo kwan no say scan bi no de ba for there but we are the same people who be complaining. Stefia, me say Ghanaians are born bad. Elections ya mehu say enipa nye e ka ma bowo say elections hu no etimi aye say no me am de aye lesson say Ghana ni ka se ne ho ache na oboa enye no kre
in all what you say mo consent na oboa nkofo ne be say
Stefia
I see 2,000 plus
Stefia, obi catch me say ne bayare. Enya dia di wo hia ontimi nko hospital. Chese meet me buano money to a drew hospital. Chese amanfo obi o se baby ote enuane cry said that my ye enuane so momfa car no ma ahan van no van ni besi ho obi am for car no.
Our constituency ben.
Kuma u
Oh, I Dr. Dufo Chrome.
Ena tafo so tafo ayi. Oh, yes. Stefia Usha Kumasi any
Kumasi now was what think of was the people were upset say.
Oh, but on si apomacho. Yapomacho. He Stefia Mamen Kasasmui. On se de bia no mo almost say bia santifo hagene. No. What the ancient trouble differences balancing voter region. NDC their partner voter region NDC ayamom. So their commitment to them no extraordinary. But we the accounts no asantifo ye nipa bia when you are dealing with them now have to be more cautious because omodo omadwene ene ye omonyoma. Yen yes wanya dia ma ye buafu yen koto aba na kra. Look at what happened. Say voter region omonye sade ne da. But on say the bia so omo kan so on so bia ba oh asantifo ya na me yese. Yen krofo ba be kan oh asantifo akire omunyansa asant I don't know voter agent the omunchire this nyansa.
But Penny, the fact that voter agent from nyansa and chiresa and to boss in chichiro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, say. So yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you, say. So when some people say, oh, as and for them to one way, they don't do that.
Yes.
And you're not correct. So I just want to raise a free people's mind, say the accounts or the Asantes are not one way people are say. Oh, your madia no more or momon kasa, they will deal with you when the right time comes. Yes, my respect to Omopa. This elections near the patapa gidi na ke baby room because na enyoma nkoyi I understand. But Stefia may say Ghana for say dear kosuna abani ato awie. Dia na o ka say last na enena ubisa MPP nino say adentina ya ban also dear kosuna aban nye he. Unim say police for ni nyina no omo hands are so tight. The security service no how good because enne so ko di animu say me na me COP oh matuma the new government in transfer. I'm telling you that's the secret.
Okay.
Many, exactly. Many two people will be on some catch say police officers be on control by my boy and I have mate in pennyphobia. Masa ye dear grab my way no already man warning that some them feel warning say until we dear grad you can say police in will be oh, we don't have petrol, we don't have car. No more exactly because also Okoyin and Nimu pay transfer na kowa. You bet transfer na koshe crash into I buy no cry or tesono. O need to test why helpless. Oh fre IGP. What is that IGP ko no dampare pa na nyoma we koso. Osuro. On said dampare na MPP NDC forecast o boy adwuma e bia o pese o ya na nke bia ke consider no. So the whole entire security service na military will be slow. Now look at this. Yami said dear to me now. Like hopes now don't make us a continent airport me move into how dare you come on. Like I mean I see a woman sorry to say. Come on. Me a minister and answer me penmuna me took me could tell me documents was what my passport. Now, if you say no,
you don't have the right to stop anybody.
Exactly. But people are saying
you can say, unless you my lord.
Listen,
there's a
Ghanaians.
It will cost
exactly
injunction on this person so that the person doesn't travel. But without the injunction,
like I mean, Yana would do one message. As you were different place and now say, it's if you so be a radio, they are doing it. What's not national TV? So I'm a wawunia captain to oh, my cock stop when to me. That's what I'm saying. But don't say, He dare not. He dare not. If I'm telling those people, no more yes, and say, and then Samuel Ku make a statement. Or can you bro? Oh, yes, I know be to
That be my example. Class, I brought you time now. No judging for say me na oba me fie na mkutetu.
Exactly.
The right to self defense.
Yes, because se unfi se mafa ade na wo me ho no, ade na wo me ho no ye unlawful afa me court.
Exactly.
But why so do pay? Because say the biya na ya menuanu Muslims no. I pity them. Mama ye use money at the mo ye what lie what like I mean, come on. And you may be ha. Ya mean ade we awuye na wo television so ye bejiwe wo ye obi e bi kra nipa na wo ye ne sa na wo ye NDC ni oto aba ma so but
let's say before ya na to my NDC
exactly but how say omo nu omo ho ene NDC fo bi na for omo say ye nu ye ho ye de nim say to klasem say ya na mba be ya obu okra na sometimes you need a quiet environment to operate. To be tense, ya kwasi ha gigi ukwa panicking. Mesre wo mo se eti aban no blame na enye yie. Enti na aban ne said the baumia a president elect a cho say. Osre wo mo a. Ono do okasa ombetie adentia because now no they know so na president. Say if President Mahama e catch any crop for say eye. Ade na mo ye no mo se ma aban no. Mo ma mentimi operate. Anyoma mo se mesa ba ye. Scanner na me baby timunyai Stefia trust me they will stop. You think say president friend nyami say onya de oye na trust him na onyai obejai but there's somebody out there also mukutupa eno tina ya na amanfo ka say ebia mama na ehye omachi besere say asumdue na peace mra ya to obawie enyina mfa mpai bontanechi say ochechichechi MPP for na yen MPP for no kra be boaye because bad na tabe right party ni omo manyi omo ho tam no mo mfirim yanchi omo ngum but as you said enough evidence way and which na doctor say kienye digital ye transact sikama wa yenye ne cashless he ene mama a typical example me ye say me kwakwa repair me car or mechanic do na no say oje cash nkwanam say why o say oh cash nkwanam say no me o card o say no ko ATM ko yika that means ade na o ya mam no obebu me e wa bro kire ha o baby a yaji sika bia no corruption wo say minister koye adwuma exactly minister koye adwuma enti no mo se documents no wo do hwe senate ni baby a ejom kura no ejom market no obobosia na say we diskana no twagya atum anya scanner si madwuma se nyoma mkofa bai. This is how Africans mentality to see anya ya adwene say ye be paperless and as a handle of cash corruption e die ye din ya beba this if you be say nyina mfa mpai bonta president Mahama echi na omuman no na ye nyina enya asomdue ye ma ye nyina na mesre say MPP for ye po bibia chew say boni bia ye dia ye bia ye po bibia chew na next 4 years no ye nyina enkamum ye mpanifo no mo kasa too much afena we di make I see awie. There's nothing about especially honorable Eugene Ahe and in fact I wish
Eugene Kasana or the same
Eugene Subin
MP.
I think so Eugene Bibi
or the Eugene one day.
Oh, meaning one a contractor come friend a catching say it's too much because no so I didn't want me I say Kennedy kind on see a omo president and some more kind no and one NDC for the against ye so what I say assembly or anything friend internal oko kan say don't get or say ye call in court near ni hwe also we ni we no obetena o pe ofosu ampofo atunu no obekire mu o HNMPP for the year campaign and you may be a penny partner Adian Koya go to them penny for no more penny for we radio station way from can we and I can for 10 years say I didn't see a few. Oh yes, and people may think say oh campaign against yes. And at that time I deputy minister of housing. Ye Nadina no sasio. At that time nana then no honey and I sometimes minty and penny for biasino. Oh I didn't know their own complain you. Hobson, ye na di free airport one. Chese one in the year omuntu omo ase kra. By that time na no on the corruption call there e will be okay. E be before ya dwene no. Sevia edine. You be see Monday nyame kan ho.
Obi ampe ya onti ene no I can lovely see. See if you are interested in all the 5 members of that oral committee need to produce how they obtain their assets as public officers for starters. And well, I'm not sure if I'm position here public officers that requires declaration of public assets. Obey minister, and now obey bona fide public officer. Therefore, you are supposed to declare your public officer. But I'll check for you. Say this is an interim job. It's an interim job. So I'm not sure they qualify as public officers, so called. That will require them to come under that rule and obligation. I said they're not all kind of. But Charles Collins said, but what Kennedy Japan said about MPP is true, don't he? Bro, don't defend it. They told they be a young and a man for so a cancer. Text say Eugene entry subi MP no Eugene entry na ade na chinama oba na or fire no cylinder baby. I was able to see him lady. Is Oral going to investigate government land sold to pastors who built churches on it? Well, I don't think say that one is really not a part of it. What I say, a Prosper say Nanado's presidency was more lawless than any democratically elected government under this fourth republic. It's the end to be mekahe, but video only gold no mokoji police work gold and the former Bank of Ghana, because that is the way it's supposed to be. Tina make sure say lawlessness in radio. Want to mean rough in case the law is in your hands. The law does not lie in the hands of Yamin or any of the boys that followed him. Till police wanna at the Bank of Ghana.
And because of mis and disinformation, yeah, but internet is only I didn't know. Maybe Mojidi, and as to say, authentic and not authentic, you know. And then any time in for I won't cry. Mante Matun craft and say, young fire in the back of Homa. Only this is police communication, only any city, and the back of Homa. Processes are equal to Anomono. It was under the supervision of NDC executives. Now, Senia man for Tetonone no crack, Yansaka good boxes, Makumako 17, and the only call police for Asia region, police for Asia, so Nemum Sanya Bea, China, and one Cobasan, to say, Nomabia, Canada, the Koja baby, Nayera, and Adia, the poor and Yanwa, the before for Etimudia Bentino. Almost Bank of Ghana penny for Abba, almost handy what be the Ashomonsa, almost the Monsa, Akaka box or no ashes, Bibia Sana, penny for almost maybe say, Umufi and DC for a catch so by actually, yes, and almost I check here and obey 17 boxes, no, now almost the Bank of Ghana, Daniel Bank of Ghana penny for. Na almost people na abantu for yasweni inwia eti 7 January kono no ma hwe ho asem aka enti nyoma e clear we say yes and okay omu say van de sa boxes of gold ikopi mu okotoka international airport omu intercept no precious mineral marketing company for van. Okay, no. Last to say, a quiet first work good community so mention say a part of the good for oil dealer na a buying pushy say or the Buama fan going and send a whole can be above from no ebina now mudi to sana mono. I send acquire a buying and now to me as a son and say na territory and no credit at the dead in being Cassabi, who be the BB for continuously and after Alpha Carboniso, Sabia could be, or my music and I say could be Paso, baby, or my dear see with Yama Bank of Ghana for you.
And we go no Makosan, go now for your meaning in Kopunako Casana report and it say, a report and a very good job. No, I know say, and Poma confirm say, in fact, a NDC 4 boys, and I mean a Kohono Muko CZ gold, no Bank of Ghana for the police work. And I'm hand you over to Bank of Ghana. Say I buy for front bar. they have 70, they can account for it. Go do donate. They gold for oil program. No, no, the oil no abroach. No, it says a day is $1 and the cotton. No, the gold na cotton. Said about $1 and a bet now, man. With one and no, no, misinformation. Obi da cotton here. Go do na Jimmy. Now so I could DH. To call on a tube baby a 2 tune a can wa. Sebio said is a police for a you go no. So as on co won't quasi wo. Won't quasi wo. Posomen konoba. Brown man, maybe Branson or it's just sad. Just sad. I did be one my samba, a dear mathematics, tobo. And so, and I accord until my could you go no, at the Bank of Ghana, the place is supposed to be. I buy for on the body, they can make a determination whether I'm better good for oil, no so and as on best on the dollar and aqua. This is something that a buying for no would decide. What until I'm fire, I'm not taking, then no corrupt, and fire no. And yes, sir, you have to make sure, say, Ubedimra can show evidence and prove that were evidence. When you make it by how long it took, and son to me verify. That's how it is. The wheels of justice, no, it grinds slowly. Bronya banko diachre, MEFA tuo kokan. What I say? A tuo kokan wa ubenya asem. Until kodiachre tuo bubebi ankokan. Just follow the law, and the law will set you free. Men, konyo to be acting. That's your brand comfortwana. You did fake news. Google from Mamuna Musumo. You are swallowing it. Ubest swallow will call them. Can call any to be boa. They are both free. They are both free. They say no amounts a precious mineral marketing company for me, bona fide buying company, omo, and I know more transport gold. No, a idea that one more gold for oil that. Could ye change any police one night? And coupon share or Mumunya abotre and almost here. So now we pay. You say any passes down. Ni passes what we ever could see pepe. Bring and do a baby pepe panum sell so abu at pagu so now we will go. So why? Utia sema udi airport na makoho kochucha video na they are vans just to say so be area. Meanwhile you don't have any evidence of stealing. Nti asem bi ba yentu ebo why yentu ebo Collins dan kwano say if you Ghana government must be Ghana government must out me person obebo bi mudin wo me platform is because me pass ye tie baby go mudi attempt that out here. I mean has to be prosecuted, but you must find the evidence to prosecute him. If you are the obey my prosecution, I unlawful entrance. Say baby or coin any say or cohonum. But apart from that, then I'll be also the prosecution. I mean, consciously, I hope NDC can really break the last straw on the camel's back. But what they should know is that when they leave power, MPP will also deal with them because they also had corruption cases before. Well, someone in Anna corruption, and I make us say, MPP for by Sana, Abronia, so I'm judging for he doesn't have the right to take anybody's vehicle, but he was taking people's vehicle. Because he was to say, I used to listen to Hope Sing on my FM. Now look at what he's doing. On also assistant now. Oh yeah, the open my Abubakar, good evening.
Fine, Minister, Lapom design.
Madam.
The Yamiasi. The Kembedi Kenda Yamiasi said, Bibia Boko na Aswingri Gusiwa Ghana. Na near Kosu Ghana and which there's a Kabatu will say Sanka Crank be hard because Nipa Bimu Boa will be Binuswa more. Because some before no madren is a ban of Mokako. Until no sure say, Quaya NDC for Timmy Wow, Mo polling station be a Ghana in Nanum. No more backup group or in case of say Bass or more EBR. But not MPP for him don't recognize police. And police for so nam ni see what teaching my no suntino. Minimum some catcher almost already teaching my police station original police yipa na adia no mo ye no hona police for no nam ho ase obi a mo tse ne I say on found say bibi krampo asi because you can be akere omo but say man no ye dan man no nyina man dan politics say ya dia Ghana ne o problem kese pa e be che because nka police dia enya hwe no u ba bia ugina no won sesanda na se ye ba beto aba na se police team do mo nsa gu omo ho ye se ne aye se nyese bibi mpo na asi before ye se ma ye masujafo ma ho enam se soja ni kura kotwam no ho se bibi asi kura se ye mfre o mo nti no o mo ntimi nka bi because omo nya mo oda bia so mo mra ho na bi mu de atima bo omo ape cruise e wo me freaking tampo e wo guys a omo bo omo no ye se omo mu na enye ne ewu police wo ye kura na omo nsuro hwe
na police station obi akwa bi NDC deputy director of communication obo police Oh, civilian, no,
No, this is-
police need no so, or we are not smashing police need phone. We say,
no, say Ghana, ya to tia no my name of politics to tia mumma no my yes, the Ghana ya beche mum because baby a Ghana is equal heading. Say ya dia. Say ya me kasa me MPP ninti na MPP ba power no mo ya dia nya mayenka ma police nka. Dabi e basa man no kuria ye wasu nyina ma kuria ye nyina say mra no so sin nipa bia wo man we mu. Nti e basa wuntimi nya dia wo ho ni. Besi na nkrofo mo ye sa dia mu omani wa camera mu ye hu omo ye shi school dan ye shi school dan no kra ye ntimi nsi bi kakra na won kra ye sen ahye na ka ho because obi a we nti na sa o we ni na omo se no ma we nyina wi a wo wi ska ben na wo san dia ba be ye man ni ya ma man na tima ko nanim nti de meka nyina ne se Ghana fo na ya ye ntena se na ye hu se ye man ya ye wa ne Ghana ye se man na ni ba bi akọ na ye ntimi nye man ni ye se be ya ye bitima tena man ni ma so ndwa ye den aba just afia me da was bre
yo, me got the Brabu no, so yeah, man, which is true. You need baby, Ghana no call yet to say, you know, the one out of free. So I say, we'll call him from Cramian and come out into Fufone and Pessi Kwani Banku. We did what Broche when you did, we didn't know Ghana a different taste, a different level, different swag, a cool minimum cry. Just say, oh, feel it different. And the only baby, this a higher so, huh? And the Mamma wants to send them more joining me, just you may dear by, and I'm saying, yeah, because party will go, party will come, Ghana, and when we will all be there. Me Martina President Kufo, me a student journalist. At a most by still there, Mahama by still I or Kufado by it. Nothing will change. Ghana and when you want more than that's all those I show them reform and Yadia obedi. It was the the onus is on you, say, Obeti Mako, no Akoye Juma, no Abua, what show a bushia for. Apple hospital, Zikato, one mile by a bit Medina hospital. The basic things will not change. So what I say, basic things will not change. Yamoy Hona, a baby or baby Muhammad is a government for everybody. Obano ye Ghana education system ye, Obano ye Ghana inflation ye, Obana or minor ye, everybody will benefit. So it's in the year more mining. And by the way, then you only NDC MB before no contract or much and they will still enjoy it. Ube sweat the dear temple social media and they more a who soldiers am here mobile can they Japan contract or pepe. It won't change because NDC for our power. Omuni MPP work on pepe into two for. Ubina kind soon. Men's mobi, me am a teaman soon, me a comment them. Into one hour, who soldier and I will data 2 cities, one abe rubber bressa. So I soon. Na ye just on my baby, because me, they made it them never me, madam, you okay, and I cow. And only answer, I was having a coupon yard my next week. You bet you still on just you made a discussion, other discussion. We will still be monitoring the 120-day plan now. President Muhammad Yaban, any other matters arising, for instance, issues or the boy, and I will be looking at it and look at it a bit more minus so it may and good night.